runny cheese, or soda.
Congratulations to the New York Knicks. They are the 2026 NBA champions. WHSQ and WCBS-FM HD2, New York. This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
The 0-2. In the air, deep left field.
There's just certain moments in sports when you watch it, it makes you feel good.
Rosenberg Jr. has entered the yard and left it.
A moment, a swing, a day I won't forget.
His first big league hit. His first big league homer.
The expectations with being the shortstop for the Yankees, and now you put him in a lineup that doesn't score runs. The expectation is this team should be in the World Series, and he's one of the guys that you feel like can help you get there.
He was as good as you possibly could have imagined last night.
Certainly a night to remember. Great first night for him.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Don.
Sit, you stink.
Hahn.
How about your nuts? Can I get some?
And Rosenberg.
He wanted me to jump up and make the jokey so the people go laugh time. This isn't North Dakota. This is New York.
This is Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg.
The best threesome I've ever heard.
On ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
It's 3:01 in the big city with Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. Don LaGreca back with us next week. Parts unknown for both Peter and I. Mind your business. It's summer. But we are together with you today. Mets right now in a very interesting game, bottom of the sixth with Cleveland. In Cleveland, skies are threatening, but they got through 6 so far into the bottom of the sixth. Mets with a 6-5 lead. Don't look now. Mets could win 3 in a row. Mets are putting some wins together. And it's a funny thing, before we get to all the other stuff, the Yankees lose last night. They can't score runs. Lots to get to there. Taj Gibson going to join us on the show. Talk some hoops with one of Brooklyn's own. We love him. And updates, of course, on the Giants and Jets along the way. But, Peter, the one thing that I do appreciate is in a lost season in baseball, you know what we don't get? We don't get fans that use like meaningless wins and whine about winning. The young guys that are interesting to watch and just sit back and enjoy it. If they win a couple games, it's great. You don't hear that complaining like you do in some of the other sports about these wins mean nothing and now it's going to cost us a draft pick. You just don't hear that nearly as much. So that's a good thing. We'll keep an eye on that game for you. But on the Yankee side of thing, I told you guys, don't look now. Look back in the rearview mirror, and now all of a sudden they're the Boston Red Sox, and they are right on your tail. They're right there right now. I said this at the start of the week. If I told you by the end of the week that the Boston would be ahead of you, that you'd be in third place in your division, it's not crazy. They just won't lose. They are on. I hate saying on fire, but they have just found something ever since they swept the Yankees. It's almost the same story as last year. Remember last year, the Yankees and Red Sox met in the middle of June, and the Yankees were rolling, and they had that awful series in I think it was at Fenway, around the 13th, 14th of June, and then they just tailspin from there. This is the Red Sox swept the Yankees, and they have been just a different team since then. It's incredible. They're 25-3 over their last 28 games. There he is. There's Peter Rosenberg. He's joining us now back.
We're efforting here.
We are efforting. Yes, of course. Technology doesn't want to work with us on a day like today when both of us just had to be in other places. But the Yankees right now, not only 4.5 back of the Rays, but Boston a game back. But the loss column is what matters to me, and they're right there now in the loss column. And you're in one. And so for the Yankees, you can see that not only are you struggling, you have to hold off a Red Sox team, but you also have to get your offense right. And with all of the fun of course, Lombard Jr. and what we've seen, and even last night he still flashed a little bit. While you're excited about what he can be, it's the right now that matters most. And, Garcia and Ramos aren't helping this offense at all because it's another game, Peter, where it's 2 runs or less. That's 6 of 7 games now. They have failed to score 3 runs. And the one game they did score over 3 runs, they put up a big number, and they lost anyway. It's 1 for 18 in the series with the Cardinals with runners in scoring position. 1 for 18. they struggle with their offense. It continues to be a struggle. They were 0 for 10 last night, left 11 on base, and it starts to get – I'm telling you, it starts to feel like here we go again. This Yankee offense feels all or nothing, and I think the shield is, well, there's no Judge, and there's no Bellinger, and there's no Stanton. And so what are you going to do? And you shrug and you move on. And that, I think, now as you come out of the trade deadline, that was frustrating. But you have that little bit of positive Judge news yesterday. And, of course, the excitement of bringing up the hot prospect in Lombard. But as we now sober up, the reality is with this Yankee offense is that it continues to be a dud. And this is now getting into dangerous territory. You talk about a lost season. The Yankees could still be a wild card team, and it could still feel like a lost season. These are different levels. I know Don hates this, but that's the reality of this whole thing.
Well, let's have a conversation. Let's have a real talk.
The standards are different.
You and I, for God's sake, two men. We're men. I drive a Dodge Stratus. Is this an unusual thing where the Yankees' bats just aren't going? It's a perfect storm. Judge is out. The pitching's been good, but they just can't find their bats. Or is it that the Yankees have decided on a permanent approach to how they view offense, how they view every at-bat, that yet again has Yankees fans with their face in their hands going, we have no shot because we only have one way of trying to play, and that is to hit home runs, and if it doesn't work out, we lose every single time. Is that a fair question as we sit here on August 6th, 2026?
We continue, like, it just feels like the same conversation year after year with different players, doesn't it? And injuries always come up, and injuries are, again, it's a fair excuse. And look, other than a walk with the bases loaded that drove in the only run, but the last couple of games, I mean, you're talking about 30-plus innings where the Yankees have the home run was the only way they could score. And that it just reminds me again every time. Like every time, every year, feels like the same thing. A team that just doesn't know how to manufacture runs. That's the frustration. Aaron Boone, it sounds like he says the same things year after year. Here he is last night, just coming up empty again, especially when you have 10 runners in scoring position, 10 opportunities with runners in scoring position, and not one time can you get an RBI. Here's Boone on that.
Thought Payante was good, but, we got to get it done. We got to come through in those situations. Like the opportunities tonight. Had a lot of chances. Felt like base runners every inning, but we gotta be able to deliver, and we haven't done that enough. So tough one to lose into the off day. But the timing of the off day with the stretch we've been in is good, and hopefully allows us to recharge and get ready for a tough Braves team coming in. But we got to be able to capitalize more often in these situations.
By the way, Braves have won 7 straight. They play it tonight, but they've won 7 straight when they come in tomorrow to play the Yankees. But what can he say? It does feel like Groundhog Day a lot of times with his offense. It really does. It's the all or nothing. It's the frustration of not being able to manufacture runs. And Cashman bringing in 2 guys that are supposed to be bats that they needed to help them get through this. But Garcia is one of the hottest hitters in the game coming in when they traded for him. Ramos is a really all-or-nothing kind of guy. He strikes out a lot, but he does have some pop in the bat. But it just feels like the same thing with different players year after year, and that's the concern about when they get to the postseason.
Well, that's the part I'm trying to understand what Aaron Boone is supposed to say. Because
he can't say anything.
We're never, until he retires and maybe one day writes a book, a long time from now, we won't know what he really deep down thinks about this approach. But you cannot tell me that it is just coincidence that no matter who they bring in, these results are the same. And frankly, here's the thing, Alan, things will turn. It's August 6th. At some point between now and the playoffs, things will turn. Maybe Judge comes back. They will stop scoring 2 runs a game or less. You'll have some games where the home runs show up and they win 7 out of 10. And you start to believe it again. But then, and Anthony, you can cut me off if I'm not representing the thoughts of a lot of Yankee fans, but this is what I've observed from watching the team and listening to the fans. when you get to October and you start, if you can get there, by the way, just to ensure that everything doesn't completely come off the rails here, are you going to be able to, let's say they're on a toot at the end of the regular season. Is that going to continue in the playoffs when teams are giving you their absolute best and you're seeing the best starters in your league going after you night after night? Or are we going to see what we generally see with this team in the playoffs, which is they just can't seem to manufacture runs, Alan? And it's like they would rather lose their way than try to adapt and win the way that it seems like, if you're being honest, Alan, a lot of our previous World Series winners have won. I mean, when you look back at the last 5 or 6 years, Alan, when you get deep in the playoffs, teams do start. They start to get a little bit away from the numbers and play with a little bit of heart. Let's get some people on base. Let's manufacture some runs. Mm-hmm. This is not something, it seems like, Alan, your team is ever willing to try to do.
It never seems to be that way. Now, they did address the idea, what was it, 2 years ago, to get more athletic. Last year at the deadline, that was, something that, or 2 years ago at the deadline, I think. But this is really becoming redundant, right? And you don't want to overreact to like pockets of the game or pockets of the season, I should say. But when I was preparing for the show today, I was thinking about the offense. I was watching that game last night, and I just said, like, it does feel like that. It does feel like this is the same thing that we have talked about with this team. It's just different players. You had it last night. Jazz drew the walk. Basically, they did. See, again, they do make you work. They do get counts. 8 walks last night. Like, you're looking for that. It's not like they're just closing their eyes and free swinging. But they get the walks. They get guys on base. But it's from there. And it does a lot of times. It's the bottom of the order. Look what happened. Jazz gets the run in by drawing the walk. McMahon strikes out. And now the inning's over. So the whole thing ends there. Now, and again, McMahon's, he knows the situation. He knows he's got to come up big there. And he doesn't. He throws his helmet and he's pissed off, and he should be. As every fan was at that moment as well. Like, come on, man. Like, are you serious? Get some runs. Something. But that's always going to be the issue at the bottom of the order. And speaking of which, you have now, in the 7th inning, 2 on. More opportunity. Okay. You got somebody in scoring position. Garcia's up. There's a guy, you brought him in to be a difference maker. He grounds out. And then the kid comes up and he just gets, 1, 2, 3, 100 miles an hour, just blows him away. He has no chance. And we know that that's always going to be something with him because he's young. Like, to say, oh, see, I told you, expectations are too high. Give me a break. It's a second. I told you. He's flashing, which is good, but he's not going to carry this team at his age. We know the bat is going to take a minute. So I'm not putting that kind of pressure on him. But opportunities are there for them to score. They're not coming through. And since Bellinger left, it's 11 games ago, Bellinger was lost to that hamstring when you saw him pull up when he got stretched out to a double. And now you lose him. Judge has already been out. And they're batting with runners in scoring position. They're batting 169 in the 11 games since Bellinger went down. So it's just clear there's no pop at all in this lineup. Even after Cashman brought in 2 guys who have bats, who can do something, their pitching has carried them, which is kind of the opposite story a lot of times. It used to be that their offense would carry them. Starting pitching has been so good. Warren gave you a good start. He gave up 3 runs, but that's for your 4th or 5th starter, that's a good start.
That's all you're asking.
So it's this is the part. Now it's August. There's plenty of time. It's the combination, though, of the injuries. It's the combination of this offense that is anemic. And then the Boston Red Sox cannot lose. They just won't lose. So you put that combination together. It's August. You don't panic in August. But I think it's time to have some healthy concern. I think that's a reality.
Yeah, there's a difference between panic and healthy concern. But if you were a Yankee fan and you've been paying attention to anything, the combination that you are seeing, which is, in case you're not paying attention to this sweet combo pack, it's your team cannot hit, your division and arch rival is the hottest team. It doesn't feel like saying in baseball is even enough credit. They're on a 7-game winning streak. This comes after their 15-game winning
25
streak.
25-3, yeah.
So they're out of this world. They're a different animal altogether. And then, piece number 3 of this bonus August surprise pack. You're getting really weird, ominous information about your best player. That, we took a little bit of good news, Alan. We were stretching. We did the most. I almost pulled something, stretching that into really good news, okay? It wasn't really good news.
No, all it was is that Judge is now being, he's close to doing baseball activities.
Close
it's
to
August
and
6th.
We're hopeful, and he's
still
close
hopeful.
to baseball activities.
Yeah, but you know what, though? I hate doing this. Again, 800-919-3776. We'll get your reactions to this and more coming up next. I don't want to say that this is on purpose, because I don't think it is. But, boy, doesn't this buy even more time? Because how can you hold the front office accountable or even the manager accountable when all they have to do is say, look at the lineup. Look who's missing. Look at the names. These are brand names we're missing. This is the heart. This is the straw that stirs the drink, Aaron Judge. He's out. Bellinger, who's right there with him, like he's critical piece to this whole thing, he's out. We don't have him. Stan, what a big part he's going to be. So once we get these 3 guys back, our lineup looks different. Things can be different.
Same conversation.
I know.
Every year. Last year it was Cole. This year it's Judge.
Yep.
There's the teams who win find their way through these injuries. It's just the way it is. And this goes back now a decade of fine. It wasn't always Judge, though it has been before. But it being somebody pivotal is down, Alan. Mm-hmm. It's every year.
Yeah, and it always feels like Stanton's one of the names you always bring up. And what matters is if you can get him healthy by October, that's when you want him the most. Okay, I get all that. But it just keeps buying time. It just keeps buying time for any type of accountability because you can use that. And what I don't like is that now it puts too much pressure, unnecessary expectations on Judge and whatever his return is going to be. It'll all be better once we get Judge back. See, for once you'd like to see a team that scraps its way through while the star's out so that when the star comes back, there's not the pressure for the star to be the savior. And that's what's going to happen. It'll look like he's going to have to be the savior. The same thing with Lombard. All those that want to be skeptical and pump the brakes and all that stuff, I get it. Did you see the double play he pulled in that what was it, second inning? The kid he's so good. He's really good. He's going to be special. But he's not carrying this team either. That's not happening. So it is, when does it become a concern that this offense now, it's 11 games, that they just can't score runs? Never mind the runners in scoring position. They can't even hit for power. They can't do nothing. 6 of 7 games, they have scored 2 runs or less. 6 of 7 games. 160, whatever. Hitting 160 with runners in scoring position in the last 11. The offense has been anemic, and it's been a problem. They've been under 3 runs a game now going back to June. So it's not as if this is something new. Oh, it's just a little pocket of the season. This has become a thing, and it's a major concern. And if I'm a starting pitcher, it's kind of annoying me. Their starting pitching has been Weathers has been good. Warren was good last night. Cole's been phenomenal. It just, for me, this is creating that level of concern that they only have about a month to survive this. But the Red Sox are making it clear that the Yankees are going to be on the road in the wild card. 100%. They're going to be on the road in the wild card if they can't figure this out and get it right. So, level of concern, 800-919-3776. With this offense and the way it is and the expectation that we don't know when Judge is coming back, you're wasting great starting pitching. The Yankees finally get freed. You finally get Cole. You finally get all that right. Now the other side's hurt. Can the Yankees ever just put it together? And maybe, just maybe, it all comes together in October. But that's a huge maybe. All right, plenty to get to. Like I said today, we've got lots. We keep an eye on the Mets. It's now 9-5 Mets. They're putting up runs. They're talking about things are turning for this team after the All-Star break, after the trade deadline. And it is something certainly to watch. But there's a story within that clubhouse that we want to get into a little bit more today, and we will once that game's over with. But right now it's about the Yankees and this anemic offense, and we'll get into some football later on as well because, hey, Peter, we have football tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight and every Thursday until 2027, we have good old American football.
Yay!
We're watching football.
We're watching ball on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic, and in-home delivery on any mattress $399 and up. It's free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
This is Carlin on ESPN New York.
What the Yankees have become is an average baseball team that just spends a lot of money in some average ways. They are no longer willing to take chances. When you don't take chances to try to go win, you can't win. Just do whatever the big man wants and make sure that money keeps coming in. It's all crap. Those pinstripes don't mean a damn thing anymore.
Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
This is the Michael K. Show.
I think that when you watch a team every single day, I think we get more of a harsh perspective because teams that are having quote-unquote good years, the injury-decimated Yankees play those teams, and they seem to handle them quite well. Maybe things are not as bad as we all think they are because we're watching them every single day.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. We've got a bad ride in Jersey, Turnpike Eastern Spur northbound, right before 15E for 1 and 9 in Newark. Broken down tractor-trailer blocking 2 lanes. Delays go back onto the main roadway. Slow crawl there from Newark Airport. Inbound George, still have some road work on both the upper and lower decks, about 30 minutes from 8095. A little bit better from the 4 and 46 approaches. Heading over to the outbound George, best of it right now. West Side Highway and Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound, already packed from the Bruckner on through. Deegan southbound, not much better. You're crawling from the Mosholu on down. Outbound Lincoln Arena about 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound Hahn around 20 to 30. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
In a contracting business, you're either growing or you're grinding. Success is no longer about hard work alone. It's about using AI to accelerate impact. ServiceTitan is the only integrated intelligence that seamlessly automates your entire workflow, from first call to final invoice. Born in the trades, built for visionaries ready to stop operating and start automating. ServiceTitan, AI for the trades.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
All right, we're going to have Taj Gibson join us later in the show. We get some basketball talk in here. I know it's August and there's not much to talk about on the basketball front, at least right now. Although, from the Knicks' point of view, people love still talking about the Knicks in that championship. Nobody wants to let it go. Taj, obviously a native New Yorker, he did play for the Knicks, doing a lot of great things in his home borough of Brooklyn. He's going to join us, so we'll have some fun talking with him. But we want to talk with you, 800-919-3776. So let's do that, starting with Steve in Middle Village on the Yankees and their anemic offense. Go ahead, Steve.
Hey, guys. Thank you for taking the call. Peter, I think you hit the nail right on the head. It may be a business model that they're following. It seems, I'm the old expression, a lax Catholic. I'm a lax Yankee fan. I kind of gave up a few years ago. And it seems like they want to win their way and not anybody else's way. And one of the guys on the station said about a month or two ago that maybe the game has passed Cashman by. He is, and I'm 73, so I can do ageism. He's 59 years old. He's no longer the fair-haired boy. I think he's doing it the way he wants to do it, and the owner wants to do it. And the owner was really a horse race fan. He was never really a baseball fan. And Cashman, he wants to be the guy, and he wants to be the smartest guy in the room. And they spend a lot of money, but that money is generated by the Yankee fans who watch the TV, all the streaming services, buy the merchandise and everything else. They have squandered at least 10 years, if not 15 years. And I don't know. I don't think they can solve the hitting problem this year. And who knows if there's going to be a season next year. Right. You're looking at a judge not being the judge we know in 2028. That's all I have to say. But I'd love to hear what you have to say about this, because you've got a lot of people probably on after me that are going to be ranting and raving, and they're real Yankee fans now. I'm kind of like a visitor, but I can feel their pain.
I mean, I was feeling it. It's frustrating just to watch. Thank you, Steve.
Yeah, man.
I mean, I don't know. Am I asking too much? Don would be all over me about this, right? Because he's like, you're over 500. You're right there. You're in it. You've got all these injured players. Just give it time. But I keep saying, it's like, but I see it. It doesn't look right.
No.
Michael was saying, we did we replayed the promo yesterday because I wanted to hear it, right? Michael's saying, because we watch them every day and we see it every day, that we see all the warts and we get a little frustrated with it because it's every day without the macro view. But I don't know, Peter, again, you did 10 years with on the K Show. So that's a lot of Yankee baseball you talked about. Doesn't it feel like the same conversation over and over again about them? And it's all or nothing. It's home runs or nothing. They don't manufacture runs. They leave runners on base. And this is a drought now without, yes, your best player. but it's double concerning because of how the Red Sox have really turned their season around.
I don't think even Don right now would in earnest be able to argue that what's happening is okay. Like, sure, he might go, he's not going to change his overall Yankee fans are spoiled thought process, because I think by and large Yankee fans are spoiled. But that does not change the fact that they cannot score runs. Like, there's no way, and that you would not be frustrated to see that they're never willing to change their approach. So, like, would Don suggest at this point, no, I think you should be fine. You should be happy as a fan going to the playoffs with 90-something wins every year, and then having your team have the same approach to every at-bat, and you lose in the playoffs every single year. You should just be happy with that? I've said this over and over again, Alan. I mean it. I will take the Red Sox. I will take the Astros. You give me a team that shows up, wins a World Series,
and then goes back,
has a down year, bounces. I will take that 10 times out of 10. The idea that you're supposed to feel so good. I'm sorry. The Yankee fans don't work for the Yankee company. They don't make money because the team is in the black every year. That doesn't do any. You know what the fans are doing? The fans are the ones keeping them in the black, but they're not getting anything for it. So
it's
what?
Funny.
So you got to see a few wins?
The franchise is in the black. Fans are in the red.
That's right.
Because, like, you're feeling like my investment emotionally and financially, what am I getting out of it? And I think that's a reality, because it just continues to be that same thing. I know we've done this before, but it really does become that, right? Like, it's like, what would you rather have? The team that every year is just steady competitive, or a team that will be all in, but there'll be years where they've got to go through a reset. Like, that's what I continue to go. It starts to become, what's the word I'm looking for? It starts to become again, I'm going to get Don going next week on this. The monotony of being good. Like, there's like a treadmill effect to it.
Totally.
Because it's your baseline now, right? As a Yankee fan, it's your baseline. So it can't be compared to others, which is why you can't do you're a spoiled Yankee fan. No. Our baseline is different, because when you're good every year, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, you got to cash in one of these.
You know, it's a great one to call.
You got to hit something.
You know, it's a great way to call Don on this.
What?
So Don's living the dream. He is the announcer for the Devils.
Yeah.
He does afternoon drive in New York City.
Right.
I have told you. You look at a picture of Don LaGreca from 2001. You say, if this guy's life turns out at 2001 Don.
Oh, you're talking about Repug Don.
Repug Don. If he does the best he could do, he does middays in Milwaukee before eating a bear claw, having a heart attack, and dropping dead at 46 years old. That was what Repug Don was pacing for, okay?
You think that's where he was headed?
Instead, he looks like $1 million. He's got beautiful kids.
Yep.
He's doing afternoon drive, and he's the voice of the Devils. And yet, every year when we were really into the ratings thing, Don would be pounding his fist about wanting to beat the fan. We got to do this. We got to do that. At no point does Don accept, dude, your check clears either way. You're living the dream. Just be happy. No, that's not enough for Don. Don, as you know well, and I'm really getting in the weeds here, Don is the first one of all of us here. He's the one who goes, I want to go back to the ratings days. I want to keep score. I want to get W's. Yep. That's what Don wants to. So how can you tell a fan of a team, just be happy enough to get to be in the tournament every year? Isn't that enough? It's not a reasonable ask anymore.
No.
Yes, you're right. If you're an Orioles fan, that is a reasonable ask. Oh, cool. I'd love to be there every year. But that's not the Yankees situation. It's just not.
Yeah, that's a great comp. That's perfect, because we don't live our lives that way. Like, we don't live our lives that way. And when it comes to sports, that's not, you don't invest yourself as a fan in sports just so you could say, well, every year I know my team's going to be good.
Yeah.
Like, like the feeling is always, yeah, of course it's nice, that you can watch and you'll get a good performance from Cole, that you can get, Ben Rice will hit some, Ben Rice will do something special. You do have Aaron Judge when he's healthy. He's fun to watch. Like, all that stuff is great. But at some point collectively, it's like, I want a pot of gold at the end of this rainbow, right? Like, I'd like to feel like with everything that they are, the prestige that comes with it, the feeling that comes with it of like this. But my team's the Yankees, man. Like, we're not the little engine that could. We're supposed to be the evil empire, the fully operational Death Star. That's what it's supposed to be.
That's what the deal was.
When was the last time it felt like that? And it hasn't. Now, again, we're going back into like the typical conversation that we have with the Yankees every year, but that's part of the problem, right? It's every year. And this is another example that you can make all the excuses. Well, they lost Judge. They lost Stanton. Now they lost Bellinger. The offense really isn't clicking, and you can understand why. When you're missing big pieces, that's going to happen. Look, the Dodgers are going through it right now. The Dodgers are, with all the money that they're spending and all the stars on that team, they're going through it right now. Every year they always seem to have a little bit of a swoon anyway, but they get right in the postseason, and then they kick everybody's ass. And I guess all the Yankees can do right now, all Cashman and company can do right now, is just bank on telling the fan, hey, it's just August. We just want to get healthy in time for October. And when we do, we feel really good about our chances. That's great. But in the meantime, you got to sit through and watch this, and you can't. Anxiety won't let you just sit back and go, don't worry about it. Right? You can't, because as a fan, that's not what you're invested in doing. That's not what you're here for, especially when it looks the same every year.
Well, yeah,
despite
that's why you can't, and that's why you can't even spend a moment comparing it to the Dodgers, because the Dodgers are the Yankees in '98. So it's a different thing. They can go on a slump in August, because guess what they assume is going to happen?
Well, you have two in your pocket. That's why when you have two championships
two in your pocket, and based on what you know about them, we'll figure it out and we'll be fine. And I will tell you, Dave Roberts, say what you will, and again, I feel bad comparing manager to manager. The edict for Roberts, I should say, the edict in L.A., there is a little bit, Alan, of, hey, we have ways that we do things, but we do trust baseball gut when it comes down to it. You can do what you got to do to get a win when you need to. They at least have some of it, Alan. It feels like poor Aaron Boone, he is stuck to sit there and manage this thing the exact same way every time, and then has to sit at the podium and tell you that the urine on your head is rain. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
That's part of his job.
It does feel like that sometimes. He does protect his players, which is what he's supposed to do.
Well, and protects the way they do everything. He has to.
Again, and that feels like you were saying, we got to stop talking about how it's time to move on from Cashman because it's never going to happen. I keep saying, if that's the truth, if what you're saying is right, and Hal's never going to move on from Cashman, then don't expect they're ever going to move on from this way of winning. Because now, don't you think? And we'll get back to your calls at 800-919-3776. I'll leave you with this. Don't you think that as long as he has the job and as long as this continues to go without proving himself right, he'll be even more dug in on proving himself right? Like, he'd rather go, like you said it, I'm going to prove that we're going to win so I get the last laugh, instead of we should change things. He's going to do it his way. And then when he does, he'll let everybody hear it, because we saw him go toe-to-toe with some of the writers on Volpe, how dug in he was on that, and then how quietly and quickly he put an end to that era.
Well, what about
800-937-76? We'll get back to your calls, and Peter has one more point to make as well coming up.
No.
Rosenberg.
Yeah, I'll take it to the side.
This is DiPietro and Rothenberg.
There's just certain moments in sports when you watch it, it makes you feel good.
A moment, a swing, a day I won't forget.
His first big league hit, his first big league homer.
The expectations would be in the shortstop for the Yankees, and now you put him in a lineup that doesn't score runs. The expectation is this team should be in the World Series, and he's one of the guys that you feel like can help you get there.
He was as good as you possibly could have imagined last night.
Certainly a night to remember. Great first night for him.
Morning Start with DiPietro and Rothenberg. Weekdays from 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them. According to an independent study, Amazon prices average 14% lower than other retailers. Get food, fashion, furniture, and more shipped straight to your building. Plus, another study found Amazon Prescription Pass customers pay nearly 1/3 less out of pocket. Learn more at aboutamazon.com.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
If you've been injured in an accident that wasn't your fault, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique personal injury and workers' compensation laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling all types of accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for injured New Yorkers. From construction to car accidents and slips and falls, they've got you covered. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS, where your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Okay, all signed up. Easy. Now let's run payroll. What the? Hey girl, I'm you with more gusto. Nice. Who's that? New social media manager. Hired and onboarded with gusto. And spoiler, we're kind of famous now. Wait, we're famous? Oh, well, I'm famous. Payroll, benefits, and HR. Designed and built for small businesses. Choose a future with gusto.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You push yourself in everything you do, scanning headlines for insights, keeping an eye on the market. Robinhood puts you in control of your money, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Mets absolutely clobbering Cleveland, by the way. It's top the 8th. They're now up 12-5. Break them up. Bases loaded still, too, with 2 outs. Bichette's up, so going for a sweep here, right, in Cleveland?
Why not?
Hey, like I said, it just have fun, enjoy it. Right? Am I wrong, though? Like, in the NFL, there'd be fans, like, pissed off, right? Like, oh, I'm going to lose draft position, right? In the NBA, I know for sure fans would start, clamoring about the draft position, how important draft position is. In baseball, it's like, all right, kids are playing. Let's see a couple of players play well. let's just enjoy the team kind of getting out from a malaise and finish on a high note so you feel good about the future, right?
I totally agree, and particularly with this Mets team, who they do have a few new pieces that you act. And I don't just mean the kid doing the splits that they got at the deadline. I mean that that they brought. I mean in general this season they have some young talent that you want to see how much of a part of the future. Benj, Ewing, etc. Yeah. They're guys you really want to see. Plus, if in fact there was any truth to the story we did yesterday, that in the second half of the season, Soto and Lindor have started to mend. This second half of the season could end up being something you look back on later. Like, that season sucked, but the reason we came out in 27 and we're a different team was because they started to figure it out in the second half of 26. So, at least, and you're right, Alan, there's something to watch, and at least you don't have to deal with the, oh, really? What a waste. You swept Cleveland. No, you can just enjoy every win you get. So
they got to get a manager. There's still a lot to do and figure out, but David Stearns looks like he's locked in there, that he's going to be part of, rebuilding this thing and all that stuff. So we'll see where this all goes. We'll get deeper into the Mets once this game's over. Again, top of the 8th. It's now 13-5 against the Cleveland Guardians. Let's go back to the calls at 800. Oh, wait, you had a point you wanted to finish before we went to break there.
I was just going to mention the thing about Cashman. You were talking about Cashman with Volpe and his defensiveness. But don't forget Cashman 2 off seasons ago when he went full, Ric Flair promo. I mean, remember when Cashman just went off and him and the reporters went back and forth and he really let loose on everybody who questions him. So, he obviously is pretty dug in on this. And I think you're right about it. I think that he wants to show everybody once he gets one. See?
Right.
And I think the fans would really prefer you just start doing something that puts them in a chance to win. Like, not just theoretically, because Michael would argue, well, they always have a chance to win. Well, yeah, theoretically they do. But if you ask Anthony Pusick, do you think they have a chance to win? He would say no. I don't think they have any chance to win.
It's the perfect way to ask it. Right? Every year you have a chance to win. But how many years do you really feel it in your bones? Like, I think they can do it. Like, I think this is the year. Right? Like, this year especially.
I can feel it all the way down in my plums.
Yeah, not in my plums. There's like, how many years did it feel like, like, this team's giving me vibes. This team's giving me that, like, they've got it in them. They've got a run in them. Right? Now, when they went to the World Series, they did with some, epic performances, being in Cleveland, right? There was a couple of these epic moments that you really felt good about. But, man, were they just completely overmatched when they got to the World Series. And you left that World Series experience going, my God. Like, they kind of soiled themselves on the biggest stage. That was embarrassing.
Dude, it ended with the Dodgers. It ended with your best player made the most embarrassing error of his career.
Yeah.
And then the LA Dodgers celebrated listening to New York on the field at Yankee Stadium. I mean, that's as bad as is humanly possible.
And your follow-up to that was a dud. You're right. We're going to get this is never going to happen again. We're going to show that that's not who we were. Nope. Went right back to it. So that's why when you say every year you're in is nice, but when is the year that you felt like, you're
really in it.
They can do it. And this year, because of the injuries, it's another reason. Like, are you looking at the Yankees and saying that you think, even with the American League looking what it looks like, that they're going to beat Boston, that they're going to beat Tampa, even the White Sox?
Well, also the whole concept of the
White Sox have been good.
But remember the whole what the American League looked like? That's kind of changed since the Red Sox now are a different team.
Yeah.
So that was like 40 games ago. Like,
that team is nasty. Let's grab a couple of calls here before we get out of this segment. It was Will in Tampa is waiting online for a bit. What's up, Will?
Hey, how's it going, Alan?
Good.
Alan, my brother and I actually met you at the Hawks game back in December.
Yep, I remember.
We came up to you at halftime talking about Volpe, and it's funny to see where we are currently
amazing,
at. So,
right? Yeah.
It's hilarious. But, just wanted to talk about Ben Rice a little bit. Obviously, he's had an incredible year. You just kind of wonder, is some of these bigger spots, potentially this run to the playoffs and him being the main source offensively, does a 12th rounder from Dartmouth have what it takes to kind of be that guy, or do you think the moment is going to get a little too big for him?
Again, it's all about who else is in the lineup with him, right? Like, is he meant to carry an offense? No. He drew 3 walks last night. It's not like he sucks. Like, the offense is bad because of him. He's still doing what you would expect him to do. He's just not he's not going to be a centerpiece. The Judge element is big. The Bellinger element is just adds to it. Stanton, as we've said all year, that's not a guy. You always know at some point you're going to lose him for a month or two. That's just a thing you got to get used to. And at some point the Yankees have to move on from it. Once the contract is up, they got to just, all right, we're done with this. Because it really does hurt, right, Peter? Here's a guy that when he's in the lineup, you're a better team. Statistically better team. Especially he and Judge in the lineup together, you're a dominant team. But they're never together. What you're hoping for, of course, is that he just can get right by October. Because we've seen him do it when it matters most.
And, Alan, I was going to say, here's the thing about the Yankees and Stanton. They can't move on from it until they find someone else who can hit the baseball in the playoffs.
But you're right.
Otherwise, how do you move on from the only guy who every year bats 300, hits some home runs, and keeps you in game?
He's clutch. Right. No, I absolutely know. But that it just feels like Groundhog Day with the Yankees. It feels like the same thing with the Yankees. And, of course, the conversation will continue with you on the Yankees. But you know what we have tonight, Peter?
Oh, yeah.
We have football.
They're playing football.
And with that, we also have updates from Jets and Giants camps that we will get into with you next. Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Tricon Construction is growing across New Jersey, delivering larger, more complex commercial projects with the precision today's developers expect. Because when the timelines, capital, and reputation are all on the line, you need more than a contractor. You need a true construction partner. Tricon brings experienced leadership, disciplined project management, and a team built around accountability and execution. From planning to completion, they build with purpose, professionalism, and pride. For serious commercial projects, build with Tricon. Visit triconbuilds.com. That's triconbuilds.com.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Michael K. Not sleeping? Well, it could be your mattress. That's why I always recommend my friends at PC Richard & Son. At PC Richard & Son, they don't just sell you a mattress. Their experts use a 4-step mattress fitting process so that your new bed fits you perfectly. They guarantee it. Top brands like Sealy, Stearns & Foster, and Tempur-Pedic. And in-home delivery on any mattress $399 and up. It's free. So do what I do. Get to PC Richard & Son for your new mattress. Free delivery excludes Manhattan.
Hey, Yankees fans! Join us at Yankee Stadium on Friday, August 21st, as the Yankees take on the Toronto Blue Jays. And don't miss Cody Bellinger Bobblehead Night, presented by T-Mobile. The first 18,000 guests through the gates will take home an exclusive Cody Bellinger bobblehead. Get here early, grab the giveaway, and cheer on the Bronx Bombers. Tickets are available now at Yankees.com/tickets.
I'm David Ortiz. When I lost my mom, she was only 46, and I lost my dad to cancer. It was the worst pain I ever felt. It made me think, what will happen with the people I love when my time is up? That's why I have life insurance. Ethos makes it easy. It's all online, take about 10 minutes, and you can get up to $3 million in coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge. And Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road. Ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
880 ESPN, WHSQ, and WCBS FM HD2, New York. A Good Karma Brands radio station.
All right, 401 in the big city with Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn. Don LaGreca will be back with us next week. Mets up 13-5. This is top of the ninth now in Cleveland. Mets looking to go for a sweep here in Cleveland, putting up a ton of runs. Afternoon game here, and once that's all done with, we will certainly get into the conversation there with them. We were just talking Yankees for the first hour, 800-919-3776 for your 2 cents on their offense, which has been anemic, not even worth 2 cents. Can't even get to 2 runs per game. 6 of the last 7, didn't score more than 2. Last night, 1. It was a run that was scored walking with the bases loaded. Couldn't even get – it was 0 for 10 with running scoring position. It has been a major issue their offense, and it is something that feels like a Groundhog Day conversation that we tend to have with this team. A lot of frustration. Before we get into the football, because it was a tweet I saw, and it's reasonable to say this, so I get it. But B. Dilly says Yankee fans would have burned Yankee Stadium to the ground if they finished in last place 6 times and missed the playoffs 10 times in the last 16 years. Even with 2 World Series, which is what Boston has done since 2010. And he said, and that's not taking anything away from the Red Sox championships, but the idea that a Yankee fan base would be more accepting of that than contending every year is ludicrous. Now, it's an extreme to say to be the Red Sox because clearly Boston has had, they had their own troubles up there. They have gone through a lot. They've been mismanaged. They have ownership issues there as well. A lot of people think John Henry and company really aren't as invested and dialed in anymore as they used to be. So I guess using that as an example is probably not the right apples to apples. But I think it's more of it's almost like Fugazi contending. If you have a winning record every year, that's good. Of course it is. They've been doing it for 30 years, almost 40 years now that they've been doing that. But at some point, you want to have a feel that the team that is always top 3, top 5 in payroll, that has star players on it, and has a brand as big as the Yankees, they got to have a year where you're like, yeah, they've got it. I could see it. Not in February where you're going, look, with all this talent, they can win a World Series. Get me to July feeling that way about a team, and we haven't had that.
Alan, what stat did the guy actually give in the tweet? What did he say?
Well, it was finished last place 6 times, missed the playoffs 10 times in the last 16 years, even with 2 World Series. Now, I know the math doesn't matter.
Just real quick, they won the World Series in 2013.
Yes.
They lost in the ALDS in 16 and 17.
Yes.
They won in 18. They lost in the CS in 21.
Mm-hmm.
And they lost in the wild card in 25. I don't know. That with a couple of World Series, and I can only speak for me. And to his point of, well, they'd burn down Yankee stadiums because of our expectations.
But that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you're
supposed to be demanding more.
But that's not as bad as he just painted that to be.
I know. Well, again, he was being dramatic.
And by the way, you were right. The Red Sox also. The Red Sox made The Red Sox, listen, I wouldn't have included in that. Make a Babe Ruth level bad trade with Mookie Betts.
Yes.
I didn't say make horrifying organizational decisions. I'm not saying that because the Red Sox have tried to ruin it. I'm just saying there are teams in this league who win championships, and they may not win 95 games every year. But every few years, they truly contend versus what we're doing now, which, let's be honest, Alan, it feels like is fake contending every year.
Yeah,
that's sort of what it feels like.
Yeah, it's like you're there, but are you? Because I am trying to remember the last time where they were playing later in the year, and you're like, they got a look about them, right? Like, oh, this team's got a look about them. You could just feel it. Not if this guy gets healthy and they can get healthy, and you know what I mean? That's the part that like I've been waiting for is when do you have that feeling like they're an it team? And this year you don't have that. There's other teams that are more it teams than they are right now.
Certainly right now, yes.
Yeah. Jeff in Albany, one more thing on the Yankees. Go ahead, Jeff.
Hey, my guys. First off, first-time caller, long-time listener. You guys got me through the pandemic. I work from home all the time. Before I get into my point, Peter, you're awesome. I love it when you guys talk music, whether people get on you or not. I grew up, Alan, you're great addition to the show. I grew up listening to music from Chicago and Eagles and all that kind of stuff. So love it all. But you guys are awesome. I did like Michael Kay. I still listen to him and watch him, but I think you're a great addition to the show. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you, Jeff.
You got it. My point on the Yankees is, and I brought this up to some of my friends, I'm 47. Peter, I think we're the same age.
Yep.
My birthday was last Wednesday, so
oh wow, we really are the same age. Happy birthday, my dude.
Well, thank you. Happy birthday to you. But I grew up when I was 12. I started delivering newspapers, and every morning I would check them for the standings, and we were always in last place. I was a huge Don Mattingly fan. Modeled my batting swing after him, all that kind of stuff. But I grew up with the Danny Tartables, Steve Belboni, Moss, all that kind of stuff. So I've lived through the doldrums. And then I was lucky enough to live through 96 through 2000. And it was great. And like I said, I worked in Cooperstown my whole life. Worked at the Hall of Fame, got to have breakfast with Phil Rizzuto, Bobby Dorr, met Whitey Ford, all those guys. I met Dave Winfield in my job, Andy Pettit, Roger Clemens. I've seen Odell Beckham Jr. play as a youth, Garrett Cole, everything in between. But that's not my point. My point is, to me, I'm not trying to defend Brian Cashman. To me, Stick built those teams. And I give Cashman credit in the early days, but my point is in those days, they'd go get David Justice or even Jose Canseco or add those pieces.
The peripheral, right? Like
complemented.
So complementary pieces. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Yeah. They don't seem to do that. No, because it does feel different. The approach does feel different. How much of that is, of course, the budget. But I keep going back to the same thing when anybody wants to bring up the spending from the past compared to today. And, Jeff, thanks for the call and for the kind words, too. It's as simple as it's not, Hal Steinbrenner, are you spending enough money? It's, are you spending it wisely? Like, that's all I've ever asked is just, can someone ever get that answer out of Hal Steinbrenner? The budget you give is still top 5 in the league. So it's not like you're being cheap. You're being top 5 spending teams. But is that money being spent well? The answer can't be yes. It can't be. In comparison to the past, no, it can't be yes. Ron in Florida. Ron, you're up next.
What's up? As you mentioned before about the Red Sox, as a Yankee fan, who in the right mind as a Yankee fan wouldn't want to take the Red Sox? They have 4 World Series and we have 1. I know they bought them out, but he says Brian Cashman preaches championships, but he hasn't got one since 2009, and the Red Sox have won 4. So as a Red Sox, so as someone that's a Yankees fan, like myself, I love the Yankees. I would take the Red Sox because I know they bought them out, but at least they have won. Isn't it all about winning? So who cares if you bought them out? You don't make the playoffs. It's about winning. The Yankees, I know they win every year, but they don't win the World Series. So I'd rather be the Red Sox if I'm a Yankees fan.
Yeah, if you know what you have, Ron, and thanks for the call, and it's a good point. But that's also knowing that they have the 4 championships and then the 2 in their pocket, right? Like you already know those were there. But that's That's kind of the difference here. Is they maintain their good every year, and we're being told that's where I always tell people to back off, because when you start being told by other fan bases that you're supposed to be happy with this, I'm telling you, everybody has a baseline. Every fan base has it. Your baseline is what you're used to, and so your baseline as a Yankee fan is different than everybody else. Your baseline has to do with history, but it also has to do with recent history. And if you're telling me for the last 30 years, this team has always had a winning record, that's your baseline expectation every year. There's no excuse, right? Because this is what you are every year. So you can't tell me, well, you should be happy with that. Why? That's been 30 years of it. That's now the baseline. That's the expectation. That's the standard that they have created. How are you supposed to be happy with just being standard? It's not the standard of the rest of the league. It's the standard that you set. It's a different conversation, and I don't know why some fans just don't get it. So you don't tell me that I can't raise my expectations, my demand. That's why the guy that tweeted that Yankee fans would have burned down the stadium, of course, because your expectation is to win. But now you're kind of being pacified with, hey, just be happy that you're winning. You know, it could be worse. You could be the Mets. Right? Like you have to deal with what Met fans have to deal with.
Sure.
Yeah, but that's why I'm not a Met fan.
Exactly.
Well, one more on this because everybody wants to talk about it. Ivan in Connecticut, because I like this point. Go ahead,
Ivan.
Yeah, hey, how are you guys? Big fan. First things first, Knicks in 5. So
Knicks in 5.
But yeah, just like I guess I like to be in the moment, but I got to think ahead. Like even if we get to the playoffs, you know, Judge is coming back 2 weeks before the playoffs, and then Stan. That's a huge question.
Yeah, you can tell me. Yeah. You can tell me he's coming back in 2 weeks before the playoffs. You can tell me he's coming back a month before, a day before. No, Ivan. Nobody knows. They have no idea.
Yep. Yeah, but yeah, it proves my point. But even when we get to the playoffs, like the way this team's playing, you know, maybe it's foreshadowing there. It's just, you know, then we're gonna have the whole conversation again. We're like, well, see, here we go again, and you know where we're at now. So it's just, I don't know. I'm kind of preparing for the worst, if that makes sense at this point. So, you know, with all this news.
Ivan, thank you for the call. What a terrible place to be. I'm like, what are they, 13, 14, 13 or 12 games over 500? I'm preparing for the worst.
I get it.
Like, this is exactly the problem. It's exactly the problem. All right, well, we can keep discussing this. The Mets just won 13-6. That game's over, so they get a sweep. So we'll get into Mets a little bit later on. But let's just transition for a moment here, if we could, Peter, into just catching up everybody on what's happening locally with football.
There's football!
Yeah, there is football tonight.
Football! Yes, football! They're playing football! If you smell, it smells like tonight's game smells like a Tuesday in late June
during
on Hallmark Channel.
I don't want to put you guys on the spot.
Yeah,
but I'm going to do it anyway.
Okay.
What, you want me to make a pick in the Carolina, Arizona?
No,
Yeah.
God, no.
Okay.
We have a number for that. But can you?
It's called Get Help.
Have you seen Adam Schefter's tweet of the graphic that they put up for this game tonight? Okay.
No.
I'm going to send it to you. Can you name the two players that are in the graphic?
Oh, the promo.
Because you only show the best of the best in the graphic.
Oh, I'm looking at it
So
right now.
Alan's got it. Peter, it'll be on your phone shortly.
I'm loading it right now. Oh boy.
Carolina.
I only got one. Jacob got the same one I got.
All right, so the quarterback. That's the quarterback on the left, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's
Beck. Yes.
That's
Carson Beck.
We got Carson Beck.
Carson
That's
Beck,
right. There
who's entering the NFL at the age of 30.
He got off of the table. He just got off the. He just went to the Venetian Hour on table 5. They finally got to them, and they gave them the scraps. And now he's going to go play in the Hall of Fame game.
I'll tell you this though. I kind of like Beck. I actually think he's going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I don't want to disrespect him because he was drafted.
The other guy could be Jake Delhomme for all I know. Carolina Panthers.
Honest, and this is not an insult.
No, it's
you're
not
not going to get it.
No,
who is it?
It's
Kenny Pickett.
That is Pickett.
Wow.
He's on the. First of all, Kenny Pickett's a Carolina Panther.
Kenny
congratulations
Pickett, you know what
to
he's
him.
doing? Though, if you take a look at him, Kenny Pickett is heading into his Justin Herbert era. Look at his look.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's
I got news for
he's
you.
given like, Timu, Justin Herbert.
It's not going to be throwing the ball like Justin
I
Herbert.
didn't say that's why I said Timu.
That's right.
So tonight, if you're indulging in the Hall of Fame game, you're going to see the big battle between an offense run by Carson Beck, who Arizona hopes is going to be the quarterback of the future. So that's not nothing if you're a Cardinals fan.
No.
And Kenny Pickett.
Do you think they're hoping Beck is the quarterback of the future, or are they hoping their quarterback of the future is coming in the next
Well, I don't think Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback. Out of everybody that's on the roster,
Yeah.
I would say that the person they hope will be a quarterback past this year is probably Carson Beck.
All right, since we're all having this discussion, again, 8 o'clock, NBC, by the way. An NBC
like you dream about.
Hall of Fame game on NBC. What would be on tonight instead that somebody who's not a sports fan?
Well, it's Thursday, 8 o'clock. Tonight's The Cosby Show.
This is that would be in.
I think Celebrity Family Feud's on tonight.
Okay.
On NBC?
No, not on NBC.
No, that's what I'm saying. What would normally be in this time slot? That someone who would because it's probably all reruns, right?
And it might be tonight might be a Brewster night. Is Punky Brewster?
I think the Ocho's on tonight. Hang on now.
Somebody's so frustrated that what's this football game on? I can't
hang
watch
on.
my program.
Hang on, everybody.
No. And then when they watch it and they go, "Is this football?"
This
8
is not.
8 p.m. on
All right.
ESPN 2.
Yep.
The T-Rex World Championship races.
Hey now.
Yeah.
At 8:30, the 2026 Corgi races.
Oh, seriously?
Yes.
Yeah, love.
Well, I got a DVR.
At
I got
9
a DVR
p.m.,
on the Corgis.
the Meadowlands Racetrack Wiener Dog Derby.
All right, tonight's a big night at TV.
And at 10, the Great Bahamian Crab Races.
Okay, I am DVRing everything happening on TV
Except
tonight.
the football.
Except the football, which will be
all right. So in reality, again, 8 o'clock NBC. How much are you going to, because it's football, as Shefty said, and so it begins. How much are you how much are you dialing in of this game? Is it just because, remember, this is football. We crave it. Are you watching just because?
I am not, personally.
Not at all.
No.
Yeah.
I am doing something glorious tonight.
Well, you have
that.
plans, which is why, of course.
Yeah, I have glorious plans that I'll get into a little bit later. But so for me, if I were home, if tonight were a regular Thursday at home, Thursday at home. I'd put the baby down around 8:15. I would then forget the game was on. Then I would get in my bed and I would turn on DirecTV. And it would show it. It would be like Hall of Fame game would be up as one of the options. And I would go, oh, Carolina, Arizona backups? Oh, my God. I got news for you. Kurt Warner is not walking through those doors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
David Boston isn't walking through those doors.
Boston, he says. Okay.
All right. We could go all night if you want to.
Rod Tidwell.
Rod Tidwell isn't
not
walking
through that door.
No, there's Neil Lomax is not walking through those doors. Okay, so the truth is, I would throw it on because I like the feeling of just seeing football for that first time. It hits in your veins.
It does.
And you go, oh my God, there it is. You hear who it'll be Tirico tonight. You'll hear a little Tirico. It'll feel good to hear him. A little Collinsworth. And then I go, all right, what are we watching? What episode of Mad Men are we on? I'm not, Alan, there was a time I would have watched the whole thing. I love the NFL as much as ever, but I'm not keeping it on all night anymore. Are you?
Yeah, there was definitely a time you'd have it on the background. Just have it on, maybe, like I said, the first series or two, just because you want to see it, and then you're like, all right, I think I've.
But you've got dwindling days with your kids right now. Whatever they want to watch, whatever they want to do.
Tonight's like a Last Supper.
Wait, really?
Yeah, a little emotional. Yeah.
Who's leaving tonight?
Well, no one. It's not leaving tonight. It's just the last of us going out as a family. Because Emma's already gone. She's down in Florida. She's setting up. Gracie is going away Saturday.
To go where?
School.
Why?
College. Because that's what little girls do, Peter.
But isn't she staying near us though?
She's in the vicinity.
Okay.
But she's got to live on campus. She's a volleyball player.
And and she's leaving that early?
Well, because practice begins Monday. Yeah. Two-a-days, by the way. They don't mess around, Malloy. 2-a-days.
Well, what's next? Marco and Jaylen going off to college next week too? I mean,
if you do the math, a couple of years.
So tonight, what are you guys doing tonight, though? You're not watching the Hall of Fame game is what you're not doing.
No, I'm not watching the Hall. No, it's Zach's birthday today. It's everybody's birthday. It's Anthony Pusik's birthday.
Oh, my
Happy
God.
birthday to the glue of the show.
No ice cream cake for the glue of the show.
No,
we can DoorDash a little.
I'm good. I appreciate it.
Right?
No, once we're all together, we're gonna do something. Taking we're dragging them to dinner.
When we're all
do
together,
something.
By the way, it's so much better to go onto campus when nobody's there. So she's got it made. She can move in. There's not like 800 other people trying to move in around her. That's
true.
Fall sports athlete move in this weekend, and so she's moving in, getting settled in with her teammates, and then I love it because the coaches are like, "All right, come in, get settled in. You got Sunday, and guess what? Monday, 2-a-days. Let's go, right at it. It's great,
man. That is serious.
But yeah, so tonight for Zach's birthday, we're just going to see my guy Dennis at Mateo's, and we're going to have a nice family dinner, and then Friday's more of the packing up and getting ready to go for Saturday. Yeah, man. And then we're down and then Zach's got to go in another week, I think, or two, and then we're down to one in the house. Crazy. Haven't been one in the house in 25 years. Just one in the house. Yeah.
Wow, this is like empty nested Jace.
Yeah, very close.
What grade is she going into?
Callie?
Yeah.
She's going into 6th.
All right. Okay.
And she's already got plans to play hockey in prep school, so we've got like 3 years left of her.
Oh, wait, you think she's going to leave for prep school? You do?
She's already planning it.
Oh, my God.
We're going to have 7 dogs in the house if I know Stephanie.
Yeah. You know what? I support this. Let's.
Yeah.
And
I support.
You go ahead.
I was going to say I support an idea that you had before the show.
Oh, yes. Before you tell me that, because now that we're on the whole sad, everyone's getting older college note, I'm in D.C. because I wanted to come down here. My brother has gotten back into wrestling after 35, 40 years.
He's wrestling again?
And he's not. No, he's not wrestling himself. That's what Anthony said too. Anthony thought he was signing up for NXT.
I was very excited when I heard this.
No, he's a little bit of ways away from that gym wise, but he's been enjoying it, and his kids, my niece and nephew, leave for college in the next 2 weeks.
Oh,
and so WWE is doing a non-televised show down here by George Mason University, and he was telling me, he's like, "Hey, do you think I get tickets for, me and the kids?" And I was like, "Oh, sure. I'll let me see what I can do."
Right.
And then I thought, wait a second, I'm not missing this. They're going to go to their first ever WWE show, and I'm not going to be there.
Please.
And they're about to leave for college, so I came down
be there to tell them you're. It's exactly what you should be: is have them there and get them the experience of a lifetime.
Oh, and by the way, the tickets just came through, front row. Oh, we are going to be
sweating oil all over them.
Oh, yeah, booing the bad guys, rubbing the good guys so I get the oil on my arm. It's going to be a great time. All right, but the idea of mine you supported, Alan.
I did, yeah. Let's do that next. You want to tease it?
I got a little bit of a list.
I like
we went so hard on Talk About It Tuesday on Aaron Rodgers that it basically became That Guy Thursday.
Yeah.
So rather than go after another guy, I said, let's do something positive. Let's do a list. So we have a list that was inspired by some events this week, and we'll do that next.
All right, so a list coming up. Taj Gibson also later on this hour as well. So a busy show continues with you on Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This is Carlin on ESPN New York.
What the Yankees have become is an average baseball team that just spends a lot of money in some average ways. They are no longer willing to take chances. When you don't take chances to try to go win, you can't win. Just do whatever the big man wants and make sure that money keeps coming in. It's all crap. Those pinstripes don't mean a damn thing anymore.
Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
Prizes, flyaways, even Cash money. You want it? We've got it. Find a list of all contests and official rules by visiting ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
That's ESPNNewYorkContests.com.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This August, don't miss the Big 5 spin-off and your chance to win your share of $55,550. Be here on Friday, August 7th and 28th from 3 to 7 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to select 4 balls from the lottery drum to win up to $5,555 cash. Don't miss the Big 5 spin-off where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
Hey, let me ask you something. Would you seat your 3-year-old child on a windowsill? Would you seat them beside a lit fireplace or by the deep end of a pool? One last question. Would you seat your child in a car seat that's not correct for them? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Secure their future. Seat them in the correct car seat. For more information, visit safercar.gov/the right seat.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See him in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Hey there, guys. Good afternoon. We've got a bad ride in Jersey, Turnpike Eastern Spur northbound, right before 15E for 1 and 9 in Newark. Broken down tractor-trailer blocking 2 lanes. Delays go back onto the main roadway. Slow crawl there from Newark Airport. Inbound George, still have some road work on both the upper and lower decks, about 30 minutes from 8095. A little bit better from the 4 and 46 approaches. Heading over to the outbound George, best of it right now. West Side Highway and Henry Hudson. Cross Bronx westbound, already packed from the Bruckner on through. Deegan southbound, not much better. You're crawling from the Mashalou on down. Outbound Lincoln already about 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound Hone around 20 to 30. This report is sponsored by the Positive Coaching Alliance. Questions about youth or high school sports? Well, the PCA can help. It's a national nonprofit developing better athletes and better people through youth and high school sports. More info at positivecoach.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
Hey, it's Wendy here. Are you looking to rebound from your high-interest credit card debt? A SoFi personal loan could help. Consolidate your debt with a SoFi personal loan into one low monthly payment, and you could save money on interest over time. And with as soon as the same day funding, you could hit the ground running ASAP. Apply today with no fees required at SoFi.com/debt rebound. Loans originated by SoFi Bank. NA member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debt rebound.
Earn an accredited MBA in as few as 16 months for about $21K at University of Maryland Global Campus. Explore 10 specializations, including finance, HR, cyber technology, and more. Plus, showcase the value of your MBA with a comprehensive learner record and digitally demonstrate in-demand skills and credentials to employers. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start August 12th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chev.
Just made the list, buddy.
This is The List with Don, Hahn, and Rosenberg. Brought to you by the Allure Group.
All right, Peter, so you have a list. It's based off of some recent activity among people that we know in the world of sports and entertainment. And you've created this very, very interesting list that I think is going to also create a very interesting conversation.
Oh, that's right. I'm glad you brought that up, Alan. That's right. Had to hit you with another one. We didn't really get to it much this week. But one of the greatest
you had a different
pro wrestlers of all time called it a career this week. Brock Lesnar ended his incredible career after losing to Obafemi at SummerSlam on Saturday night. He actually got on the mic and he said, "I am the past, he is the future." Literally passed the torch in sort of as aggressive and beautiful a way as humanly possible. Anthony, I know we just talked about this, but I forget. Were you in the day Brock came in?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I was.
It was totally changed the way you thought of him when you see him on TV, didn't it?
Yeah, he was super nice, and I think I still, if I'm not mistaken, I still have some of the dry rub that he gave us. So you got that too.
Excuse me?
Yeah, absolutely.
No, he has a barbecue product.
Oh.
Yeah, what did I say?
Little dry rub. Anyways, he did the K show during the pandemic, and it took being around him in person for me to realize he was actually a human being, because he's so scary as a pro wrestler. And of course, that's not just the fact that he looks like a beast. He is one of the greatest amateur wrestlers of all time, dominated at the University of Minnesota, made it to the NFL very briefly for the Minnesota Vikings. That didn't work out. He goes to WWE. Then at one point, after getting bored, leaves WWE, says, "I'm going to try out this UFC thing," becomes heavyweight champion in UFC, and then goes out and closes out his wrestling career. So truly one of the best to ever do it. And it got me thinking, who are the best combinations of were a great athlete and turned it into something else awesome?
Now, when you say great athlete, you're talking about elite level? Because, for instance, you could make the case that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson...
Is he considered, was he a great
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson...
college?
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, since you just put it out there basically, I'll take it as a guess.
Yeah.
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson played under Dennis Erickson at Miami.
Yeah.
He's number one on the list.
Oh, he's number one?
He's number one. Now listen, he was not the greatest football player of all time, but at a time in which Miami was becoming Miami.
Yeah.
The Rock played at the U. They were becoming the U.
Yep.
At that, Ed Orgeron was the coordinator. This team was really beginning the beginning days of the U. The Rock was there. He goes on to be the single highest grossing actor, I believe, in the history of Hollywood. So Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's number one. Now, since he's the only wrestler on the list, just a couple of other honorable mentions. Obviously, Roman Reigns played with Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech, a very legitimate football player. He's now as big as you could be in WWE. The late, great, after losing his battle, sadly, with ALS, the late, great Steve Mongo McMichael had a great career in WCW as a wrestler. Goldberg played big-time college football, briefly on the Atlanta Falcons. And then Ron Simmons was an incredible college football player and world champion in wrestling as well. Couple other honorable mentions I'll get to afterwards, but I wanted to mention those football people. Those wrestling people, I should say. So number one, you have Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm going to tell you right now, Alan, as a hint. There are a couple people on the list where, for example, one's athletic career is not that great, but the heights that they made it to otherwise required me to put them on the list.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to do that now in my brain.
I think with a gun to your head, you could not have guessed where this person played college football.
Okay.
But the fact that they did play college football and went on to be what they went on to be, put them on the list.
Don Johnson.
Close. Ron Reagan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and by the way, perfect opportunity to play more drops again, Jacob.
I love how you said close.
I may have mispronounced some of those names in there. I hope not.
You did.
Played football for 4 years at Eureka College.
Of course you
did Ronald Reagan before going on to play the Gipper.
Yeah.
So even though he was not a great athlete, the man became president of the United States. I put him at number 4 on the list.
Hahn shown. Have his
shown. We love Dutch. Old Dutch.
What about Covens?
Covens.
That's
So they couldn't be a great athlete and then do great things after?
No. The other 3 were really great. Were great athletes, but they didn't get to the heights of president of the United States.
President, president, and he was a well-known, respected
actor too. Oh, right. Sorry, thank you, Alan. Huge actor first, then president.
He was.
Yeah. No,
Dutch. All right. So, would Carl Weathers, Apollo Creed,
thought about it?
I mean, he did play in the NFL.
I did not. I got to tell you, I did not realize the extent of Carl Weathers' football career.
Okay,
but I think you'll feel good with who you taking out.
All right. Well, John Cena's got to be one.
No more wrestlers.
Big screen. Oh, no more wrestlers. Okay,
yes.
so
Now, no more wrestlers. I will say.
Okay.
One of them is in the WWE Hall of Fame, but is not a wrestler.
I have one that's not on there. But what about? Jacob said it's not a bad one. So if you laugh at me, I'll take it. George Foreman.
Excellent.
Well, because he went on with the grills.
Yeah, I know it sounds dumb,
but it's no. He went on to be an excellent businessman. Yeah, I did not think about it. That's a fair point. Incredible boxing career, world champ, and then has one of the great businesses of all time.
Yeah, his everything that he did, personality.
I didn't consider him, but I don't hate that.
Okay.
All right, I'll give you. Do you want hints, or do you want me to just go? Alan, one is staring you right in the face. One, you'll be ashamed of yourself, and you'll leave the show.
O.J. Simpson.
O.J. Simpson is an honorable mention.
That is an honorable mention.
But that's not the one that. No, Alan. Spike will disown you. Both Spikes, Alan. Both Spikes will disown you.
Both Spikes. Not Jordan. Can't be Jordan.
No.
Who am I missing? Well, hit me with it.
It's staring you right in the face.
Jacob and I are racking our brains on the WWE Hall of Famer.
Oh, you're going there. No.
But Anthony, you don't know who I'm thinking about. Great athlete who went on to something more, and it's so in Alan's wheelhouse that he'll be ashamed.
I'm going to be ashamed. I know.
Anybody?
We're all going to feel ashamed.
I don't know why I'm blanking right now, but that's because I've been watching too much.
Did anything eventful happen this summer?
Yeah, the Knicks won the championship.
Yeah. And when was the last time they won?
73.
And when before that?
70.
How about Senator Bill Bradley?
Yeah, I was going to say the senator.
God. Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I'm thinking he's not on your radar. That's what I'm thinking.
He's a world champion. He's a world champion who then goes on to be a senator for, a really important politician for a long time.
Oh, yeah. No, there's no question.
An integral part of American politics.
I did not think he would resonate at all with you.
Well, Anthony, write this down. Alan has zero respect for me as a person. Please write that down.
No.
I have that in the recap.
You are a guy that you're very, very much somebody that if it happened before 1980, it didn't really.
That's not.
Did it really happen?
Yeah, but think about the household I grew up in. I've known about Bill Bradley since I was a baby.
I should have thought that way, but I wasn't.
All right, so we have Reagan at 4. We have Bradley at 3. We have The Rock at 1. It leaves 2 and 5. I know I'm going to speed things along because we have to get to our guests. We have Taj coming up.
Yep.
Number 5. There are people who could argue higher when you think about how great a player he was, the activist and the actor. Jim Brown, number 5 on the list.
I was thinking about that.
That's a big acting career, really well known as an activist. And, of course, Alan, he's in the conversation for greatest football player of all time.
Of all time, Craig.
So
Dirty Dozen was phenomenal.
So when you add it all up, how good a player he was with how big an actor, he could have been higher than 5.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
Number 2 is a little wonky because you wouldn't have thought, and this is the one who's in the WWE Hall of Fame, you wouldn't have thought of him as an athlete per se.
Arnold.
But what he did was an athletic endeavor. And then he goes on to be one of the biggest stars in the world and a major politician. And it is Arnold Schwarzenegger.
There you go. I was wondering if you were going to go there, too, because I don't know, again, would you have considered him an athlete? Although, of course, you know.
You have to, right?
Yes, Mr. Olympia. Yeah.
How do you not?
Of course.
So it's number 5, the great Jim Brown. 4, well, Ronald Reagan. 3, Bill Bradley. 2, Arnold Schwarzenegger. 1, The Rock. I thought about O.J. Simpson. I thought about the late, great Bob Uecker. We mentioned all the great wrestlers.
Also WWE Hall of Famer, by the way.
Who's that?
Uecker.
That's right. The Uke is in the WWE Hall of Fame. All right, that is your top 5. If you guys think of any good ones, feel free to participate
be some other
throughout
names.
the day.
Throw them in the chat. Throw them in the tweets and all that other stuff, and we'll read them coming up later on the show. Let's see, lists are fun. That's the fun thing, is they create a lot of good conversation, and it was, of course, based off of the Brock Lesnar news. So that's all good stuff, Pete. I love that idea. Coming up, though, it's a great idea to always talk. It's always a great idea to talk with Taj Gibson, a native New Yorker doing good things in Brooklyn, who, you know, he was playing last year, 40 years old. The Knicks do have a roster spot open. And what did he think also of watching his hometown team win a championship? We'll talk with the great Taj Gibson coming up next. Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge, or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Drip Drop is doctor-developed, proven fast hydration that helps your body and mind work better. Trusted by firefighters, medical professionals, and over 90% of top college and pro sports teams. Drip Drop is engineered to hydrate faster and more effectively than water alone, with 3 times the electrolytes of leading sports drinks. Stock up now at dripdrop.com and use promo code RADIO20 for 20% off your first order. That's dripdrop.com, promo code RADIO20.
Skechers elite athlete OG Anunoby has been making history on the basketball court.
Anunoby tips it in. Unbelievable. What a shot.
He's been balling out in Skechers high-performance basketball sneakers, and the world is noticed. But how does OG train off the court to keep in peak physical condition? Hands-free Skechers Slip-ins Aeroburst. They help prepare OG for the physical demands of playing at a championship level. Get your pair of Aeroburst for only $165 at a Skechers store, Skechers.com, or wherever high-performance running shoes are sold.
That's the ease at which you get information. You want it, you get it. Like that. Ask your phone. Group chat. Smartphone. You're always connected and informed in real time. No waiting. So if you're diabetic and still using finger sticks to read your blood sugar, what are you waiting for? Knowing your blood sugar levels instantly is important for managing diabetes. Call US Med at 888-665-0696. To learn more about continuous glucose monitors, a real-time instant method to track your blood glucose, US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 1,000 private insurers. And the best part? Call 888-665-0696 and we'll give you a free insurance benefits check today. So call 888-665-0696 today. That's 888-665-0696. And manage your diabetes as easy as...
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
All right, back here, ESPN New York. We'll get to the Mets stuff as they get a win today in a few minutes. But, right now, friend of the show, let's bring him on. Taj Gibson, still doing great things on the basketball court and great things in here, this hometown city of New York. Joining us right now. Taj, it's great to have you on. It's good to catch up with you. And I would love, you're a guy that you spent in two different stints. You spent time here in New York playing for your hometown team, playing for the Knicks. To see them win the championship, what'd that mean for you?
Man, I took a shot, raised it in the air, and just was happy. That's what more can I say? You know how hard we worked to help the guys get there. The mission was accomplished, and just seeing Leon and the rest of the guys during summer league, it was special.
I'm glad you said that part, which is to help them get there, because that can't be lost, right? Along the way of this build, from when Leon Rose took over this team 6 years ago and rebuilt it, and the idea of changing the culture had to do with bringing in different players who could help do that, not just the star players. And obviously, what Jalen Brunson has been able to do here has been talked about plenty. But having guys like you come in as well and lay that kind of groundwork. So for that, there had to have been a source of pride for you. There was a lot of guys I talked to that had that feeling. Almost like, I'm not watching it feeling disconnected. I feel connected to this because I was part of laying the groundwork for this, because 6 years ago, nobody would have believed that this could have happened.
Without a question. I remember everybody just giving us slack, just wanting to come to New York now. And back then, and then now we look at it now, it's just so good to see guys wanting to come. Guys are saying, I want to go play championship basketball. It's a whole culture now. That was what everybody that was wearing the jersey was trying to do at the time. And we understood that. And Leon and Wes, everybody, each year it always felt like a family. And even when I see those guys now, even if I'm on the other side of the opposing side, you see the love every time I play the Knicks. It's just that genuine. So, again, everybody was prideful. Everybody was super happy. And you can tell guys deserve it. It was a lot of years of guys putting in the time, the work, and I'm just happy guys got it done.
What did you see from Jalen Brunson? Was there something that, with being teammates with him or even watching from afar, that told you – I've asked a lot of guys about this that wore the jersey – that just told you, he's somebody, he's a champ, he's a champion. What do you see in him, and especially what he was able to do in those NBA Finals against Wembanyama?
One thing about him, he comes from a great family. His dad raised us. His dad was a great veteran, a great pro, and then you can tell that new generation of him just elevating his game, just taking it one day at a time, but I've seen it ever since I was going to Villanova with his dad to watch him play in these big-time games. And he always had that sense, even since high school, he was a winner. And then once the Knicks got him, I was like, they got a proven point guard who wants to win. And it showed, how selfless can he be? It's just taking a pay cut, make sure everybody's coming into town, make sure he takes good care of his teammates. Off the court, he's phenomenal. I was just in awe, just watching him grow up and then to become a pro, be a great teammate, just be a leader, and then to kill the way he killed in the playoffs, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised because he puts the work in. Those guys, if you play for the Knicks, you understand up in Westchester, you understand he put that work in that gym.
Now, because they are a team that does work that way, and they've shown what they've shown, do you like their odds to make a run of it again next year in spite of how much craziness has happened just within the division?
Of course. We can go down the line. We can go down the list of the teams that everybody who played in the playoffs last year and ask ourselves, did they get better enough to compete against the Knicks again. We go down the list with Cleveland, the way they got swept. They need some toughness. I don't see them kind of matching up the way they are. Philly could be, but it's a whole new team. You still got to go through the woes of just having guys wanting to have great nights where they're getting great shots, and it's a whole new team. And then VJ's going to have to take a whole new step. He's young. So we'll see about that. Boston, did they really get better to beat the Knicks? I don't think so. I see this guy. I see the Knicks getting back. Really, they've proven they're tough, and that group that you see went through so much. So now you got a taste of champagne and running. It's over.
It's almost
it's
like
over.
Once you break the seal, right? Like that's what it's now. There's no doubt anymore in your mind. With that in mind. So you just turned 41. You and I have birthdays close to each other.
Mm-hmm.
And you played last year. 17 seasons you played in the NBA. What's the future hold for you? Because there is a roster spot open here in New York. Just throwing that out there.
Oh man. First thing, I'm just super blessed. It's been a roller coaster. I tell the young players all the time, you never know. Just run your race. I really enjoy just the whole aspect of being a professional, working out, doing what I have to do. And I've been great, just been so gracious getting the deals. And it's funny you said that. I don't know about the Knicks. I've been so blessed with that organization. They call me time and time again. I would chuckle if it happened, but I'm just looking to see what's going to happen next. I know that a lot of speculation is talking about what I may do this year, but just wait and see what my agent's going to say, and if it's time to bow out, I'll bow out. But every time I think I'm done, the phone rings, and it's like I always chuckle because Leon started it. Because every time I thought I was done, Leon would say, "You got some time? I got 10 days for you," and I will always come. And it was just so fun, and I'm just chuckling with it right now. To be honest with you, I'm just taking it day by day, and when the time comes, I'm going to go right into coaching.
You know,
but when you
coaching is perfect for you. I just thought, Peter, he was going to give us his So New York. He was going to give us the Godfather line.
Just when you think I'm out, they pull me back in.
Pull me back in.
Now. but Taj, does that mean though that you always are staying potentially in game shape, or is that just your natural way is to be in the gym anyway?
To be honest with you, Peter, I'm always in shape. Like, I'm 240. I'm in shape right now. It's just like I told my neighbor. He's from in downtown Brooklyn. And this is one of my old neighbors. He watched me grow up. He always sees me, and I'm like, I don't know, OG. I don't know. He's like, man, you look great. You look like you play a couple more years. I'm like, I feel you, but it's just a part of my regimen. I'm a professional, so when I see the young players, the young guys that's coming in the league, I gotta look the part. So when I do say something, I'm like, yo. I have to be held accountable. So that's part of my life. I'm a professional. That's all I know, really.
I mean, you brought up Brooklyn, and speaking of every time you get a new contract, it's always good news for the Taj Gibson Foundation, right? Like it's something that is, yes. I know something that you care about a lot. And it's not just from words that you said, but it's also your actions. That you've been a big community guy. You've been. I remember you wearing 67 as a jersey number for the school you attended. It meant something to you to represent Fort Greene, and you're in the midst right now of doing something in the community there. The old Boys and Girls Club that was there, that you've now with your partners taken over. And you're trying to turn into something special on your own by the Navy Yard. Tell me about what you're working on, and tell all our listeners about what you're working on in Brooklyn and why it's so important to you.
Well, first thing, I appreciate you guys just giving a spotlight. Shout out to Aloe Brooklyn, my partners, my good team at GFB. We're just trying to start something special where we can just build equity and actually build the culture of downtown Brooklyn. Being down in Brooklyn so long, in downtown Brooklyn area, a lot of our schools were just suffering. A lot of things have just been closing down, and we've been able to have the ability to work with a development company in Aloe Brooklyn who sees the same vision of us of trying to help the community. And coming up, we're looking forward to bringing almost 1,500 units, 300 to 400, almost affordable, a brand new school, with 21,000 square foot public space, cultural arts center, all for the community. And it's a great feeling just to be able to come in your community and have a say and make sure everybody in the community gets what they need. I just felt like for years the greater downtown community, especially with our resources for our children and our public schools, we need better. We need to do more. And I'm just so blessed to try to be able to help my community.
You're somebody that you went through it, you lived it, so you understand it. And if I know you, you'll be on every P and Q to make sure it all goes the way it's supposed to go, because of just how focused you are on this stuff. It's something that is great always to see when an athlete who's made it doesn't completely leave and doesn't forget where they come from, and they want to reinvest in where they came from to make sure that the next generation has it a little bit better than you did. So it's a great story, and we'll continue to follow it. I do want to ask you, though, a little bit back to basketball, if I could, Taj, because you spent some time in Minnesota as well, and you're a big man, and you're a guy who wants to coach. You've said that. You've made that clear a couple of times. When you watch Karl-Anthony Towns in the playoffs for the Knicks this run, was there a source of pride? Was there something like talking to Patrick about him, talking to some of the other former Knicks about what they saw from Cat in this run? There was like this sense of pride about how he changed his game, and he looked for the first time in his career like this. When everybody said when he locks in, he could be dangerous. What did you see in Cat in this run?
To be honest with you, the relationships I have with the guys in those teams, I'm just like the NBA. I'm telling you, it's just so crazy. I remember being in Minnesota with a young Karl-Anthony Towns, and all he was trying to do was just show the world how good he was and how much of a scorer he can be and lead a team. And over the years, I would just watch. I always listened to the conversations we had, how mature he got, and how much he really wanted to take that next step. And soon as I got to when we played New York, and when I was in Memphis later in the season, he was banged up. He was going through all the nonsense. I was hearing the rumbles.
Yeah.
He came down to the visiting locker room and waited for me. He said, "I didn't get a chance to see you. I had to come see you, OG." And I said, "Everything's okay?" He's like, "Yeah, man, it's part of it." The way he responded to my conversation after I was asking him, "Is he okay? Like everything's good?" He said, "Don't worry about it, man. It's a part of the process. I have to be ready, and I'm ready for it." And I was just like, man, like mature. That's the kind of guy like you want to play with. He gets it. You know what I'm saying? When he said it to me, I was like, yeah, he's not moving the same way anymore. He's ready to win the championship. And from that moment, I knew it. I just had a feeling. And then when I saw him at the Jay-Z concert, like I hugged him tight. I was just so proud of him because he sacrificed so much, but at the same time, he never went to the media. He never showed too much. He always kept it solid, always on time. And I'm proud of him. And that was a big step. That's really one of the main reasons why I think they have a chance to run it back. And it would come down to him being one of the vocal leaders on that team and taking another next step.
Well, Taj, we got to have you back on again sometime during the season, whatever it is, wherever you're going to be, because it's always great to talk to you. Your perspective is always good, but you are definitely going to be a coach in this league, and because of just the story you just told, because people respect you as a player and what you bring, and they'll respect your word. So it's something I certainly look forward to, as well as watching this project develop in Brooklyn. Congratulations on that. We got to run, but thanks so much for the time, Taj. We'll catch up with you soon.
Yo, thanks, guys. I want to give a shout-out to Bill from the Marcus Smart Foundation. Thanks, Bill, so much. Yo, Bill, love you guys.
Appreciate it, man. Yeah, we love Bill, too. All right, coming up, so the Mets get a win, and that's a sweep. But what's happening? Is there healing happening with the Met organization after the trade deadline? We'll go deeper into that next. Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. Not an easy ride out there on the roads, no matter where you're headed. And we've got a problem spot over in Jersey. 440 northbound shut down with a crash by the Garden State Parkway. Traffic is at a standstill and backed up onto southbound 287 in Edison, heading over to the Staten Island bound Outer Bridge crossing. Inbound George in pretty good shape for both the upper and lower decks. All of your approaches to the outbound George are terrible aside from the Henry Hudson. We still have this crash on the Cross Bronx westbound on top of the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. Right lane out involves a tractor trailer. You're jammed there from White Plains Road. That is you crawling on the Deegan southbound, heading over to the outbound George, backed up onto 87 in Yonkers. Outbound Lincoln Army about 20 to 30 minutes. Outbound Hull in a half hour plus. This report is sponsored by Mothers Against Drunk Driving. For victims of drunk and drug driving, your grief is unique, but you're not alone. You always have a place at MAD. Visit MAD.org. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
All right, it's 5:04 in the big city with Peter Rosenberg. I'm Alan Hahn, 800-919-3776, of course, the number to be part of the conversation with us. We are back on 880. I think we joined somewhere in the midst of the Taj Gibson interview. I thought Taj was great, by the way, Peter. Like his
really good.
Certain guys just get it. And he's somebody that carved out a 17-year career. And as he said, like he was thinking retirement was coming at different points, but because of his value as a teammate, him understanding role, that's why in any sport, when you're building a team, you got to have guys like that. You got, especially if you have a fairly young team or a team that hasn't really won, you need solid people in that locker room that are support, that understand their support, and that's what they're there for. And you'd be amazed at how they can help change your culture. Like the Mets, you know, if there's a Taj Gibson kind of like personality for the clubhouse for the Mets, as they build forward, they got to find one.
Such a good point. You look around, and they players like him have been such a pivotal part of teams previously. Right? Frankly, had the Mets had a Taj Gibson-like player, maybe we don't get to where we got with Soto and Lindor.
Well, maybe they did in Peralta.
And maybe they found one briefly in Peralta.
Right, that at least he was able to handle that.
Although not if you ask Soto, because nothing happened.
So again, the Mets get again 13-6 win in Cleveland. They get the sweep. You know, it's still a lost season. I know there's some joking going on around about how, you know, hey, maybe the Mets could go on this same kind of run that Boston's going on, but no one's expecting anything like that. But the reality, of course, being that you're just kind of trying to see, like, watch the rest of the season and not be embarrassed about your team and just feel good about what they could become, right? But still, you said something yesterday when we were talking about the Soto-Lindor thing, because you felt like there's no chance they're moving Lindor, even though he wasn't on the quote-unquote list before the trade deadline, and there was some possibility of maybe a team would trade for him. It'd be very difficult to do. I always felt like a trade like that's going to be an off-season kind of trade because it's a massive contract. It would take a lot to do. But Cohen doesn't seem like he wants to do it. And instead, I have 2 star players that reportedly can't get along, that everybody tried to pretend wasn't happening until they all acknowledged it did happen. And it took Freddie Peralta to get the 2 of them together, have a quote-unquote meeting, which depends on who you ask if it was an actual meeting, and just have it out and get on the same page. And everybody has said that since then, the 2 of them have, I mean, I don't know if they're best friends, but they've gotten along. There hasn't been the friction, I guess, that was really noticeable, especially on opening day, when they barely acknowledged each other when they got introduced, and yet everybody else got hugs and high fives. But when Lindor acknowledges, yeah, there was a meeting, no big deal. Peralta wouldn't reveal what was said, but yes, there was something. Felt like it needed to be done. But then Juan Soto says, no, there was no meeting. But everything's fine now. Things are better. You read that to say what?
I took that as 2 things. One, okay, maybe something positive did happen there, and obviously, I don't think Peralta tells the story if it's not true, or the story doesn't get out and it's not confirmed by Peralta if it's not true.
That's exactly what happened. So how it always works is somebody leaks it. Hey, by the way, right? You should know this is what happened.
And it happened, of course, once Peralta left.
Yeah.
So, like, just so you know, Peralta did this thing.
Yeah. While his time here was a disaster and a failure, he might have done something that can impact the future of this team. In having this meeting, he had that kind of cachet that he could bring these two guys together, and just try to get them on the same page. Broker a friendship or whatever it is that he did,
or
there.
Truce, whatever. I mean,
something.
So Peralta acknowledged that the meeting happened. Lindor acknowledged that the meeting happened. Soto denied that the meeting happened, but did acknowledge that things have gotten better. And to me, that was all I needed to know that Soto was the problem.
Soto was the problem. Why does it tell you that?
Because, and again, you're just reading tea leaves here. But if there's one guy who's literally unwilling to even admit that there was enough of a problem that we had to have a meeting, or they're too proud to admit that a meeting was had, all of these things to me, Alan, tell me this is likely the guy who is too proud to be a part of, as he saw it, maybe Lindor's team, because I'm Juan Soto. I'm the better ball player. I'm the world champion. I came from the Yankees. I make the most money. I have the suite. I have this. I have that. And it seems to me Lindor, who, I mean, people have looked for things to try to chip away at, like, what makes Lindor a problem. They bring up his wife. They bring up this. They bring up that. This, to me, tells me the fact that the guy's unwilling to admit that this happened. I could be reaching, but to me, Alan, it shows a lack of maturity and an unwillingness to be the bigger man that shows me that he was likely the source of the issue. Do you disagree?
No, I don't. I mean, I think it's just 2 different ways to look at it. I think Soto is too proud to want to say that he got caught up in a meeting. Like, I'm telling you, there are guys who are mega talented players who just don't have leadership qualities. That can happen. You could be the best player on the team, but not be somebody that is going to be a leader of men, that's going to understand how to command a room. And I think Soto is that. And so Soto does have a lot of awkwardness about him. He does have like this, and I didn't notice it with the Yankees nearly as much, but he does sort of have this favored son kind of thing about him, which is like, you know, I do things my way. I want things my way, but I don't, it's almost like I don't have a responsibility to anybody but myself. But because he's so good, it's all you care about. And with the Yankees, you didn't notice it because Judge was the guy that felt responsible for the clubhouse. Soto just had to be Soto. There was no expectations. There was no, hey, you're the face of the franchise now. There was none of that. It was so much easier for Soto to exist in that world, which is why I think in San Diego when he went there was also a little bit of friction there too, because there was no true, like, who's the face of that franchise. There was like 3 guys there that all felt like they were the next ones, right? And so that had a little bit of that. He was too young in Washington for it to matter.
You're too young in Washington. Judge was too good.
But here with the Mets, you just got the biggest contract in the sport. You got everything you asked for. Everybody knows it. And now you're walking into a room where they already kind of have their people established, and they're probably wondering, like, all right, how are you fitting into this thing? And he probably was like, I don't want to fit into this. I just do my thing. Don't worry about me. So it comes off as aloof and standoffish. I don't think it is. I think it's just who he is. And we can't always designate somebody who makes the most money and is the most productive player. We can't designate him as a leader. He's a statistical leader. But I don't think he is a true leader. But deep down, he might see himself as such anyway. And I wonder if it really started there where he doesn't want to – he deferred to Judge on a lot of things. I don't know if he felt the same respect in that Met clubhouse.
No. You know for a fact he didn't. He felt like, yeah, they gave Lindor this big contract. Cool. That was before I got here.
Right.
I'm the dude.
But you think did he want to be considered the leader? I don't know.
Want to be, well, sometimes people think they want to be the leader. They really just want to be treated like it's their team. They don't want to do the actual leading. Because like you said, he's not a leader of men by like his type of personality. But like I do think he thinks, all right, you know what else? Maybe part of it? I just left the Yankees where I had to play second fiddle to Judge. Had to. Didn't even have a choice. I'll tell you what, I do not have to do that with Francisco Lindor, and I'm not going to.
Maybe.
And for people who are immature and may have an ego issue, and let's not forget, most of these guys we talk about, even though they're incredible athletes and they're worth gazillions of dollars, they're kids. A lot of times people's egos just get the best of them.
Listen, it's personalities. You put them together and you ask them to be successful, and then when they're not successful, a lot of frustration certainly builds from it. But this was like, it's such an interesting story, and I know people have talked about it, but because it says a lot about what the Mets have gone through in the last year now, right? Tailspin last year, completely the bottom dropping out. The clubhouse is, I was saying it late last season, there's something not right about this team. There's something not right. You could just feel it, that clubhouse is not united. There's something going on there. And then we revealed it was. They tried to move some people out of there to change up the vibe, to change up the culture. It didn't work. And why? Because your 2 most important players still really couldn't get along. And Jorge Castillo did the story for ESPN.com. He's the one that had the source saying that they had the meeting. He's the one that interviewed them in Spanish, with Lindor saying in Spanish. It was more conversation like we always have with our group of Latinos. But I don't want to comment on the details. So that's him saying it was more a conversation, not really a meeting. You know, it's not like we were called to the carpet. It was just we sat down and we just talked it out. Soto saying in Spanish, there was no meeting, no discussion. Then what was it then? There was nothing? No discussion? Nothing was brought up? But then he adds this part, like you said, and this is, to me, that catches everybody's attention. This year has been better. We've gotten along very well. We've learned from each other. So Soto's acknowledging that, yeah, last year wasn't great, but it's better this year. And maybe, just maybe, all they did was set parameters. This is what I want, right? We don't have to like each other. We don't have to get along. Just respect what I want to do, and I'll respect what you want to do. If you want to, you want to do something that is outside the realm of what I like to do. I'm not saying that Lindor goofs off, but he tends to be a little bit more happy-go-lucky, right? And maybe Soto's like, look, don't drag me into that stuff. It's not what I do. There must have been they came to an understanding. There's no other better way to put it. I don't know if that heals the clubhouse. I don't know if that makes life better. It's just whatever tension might have been there that everybody noticed and was obvious, maybe there's less of it, but I don't know if it makes it better. I have no idea, and we won't know until they start actually winning. Because we know that winning is not only the greatest deodorant, it also helps you heal faster. It makes you get along with people you normally wouldn't get along with. Because winning is intoxicating. Makes you forget about everything else. And that still has to happen before you could tell me that the Lindor-Soto dynamic is one that now is fixed.
That it is one of the fun storylines. Well, fun if you're not a Met fan. If you're a Met fan, maybe annoying, but potentially fun. It is one of the things to watch over the next 2 months, which is, can this team, A, not only see some positive stuff from their young guys who they've decided to keep around, but B, like if you could get to a place by the end of this year where, you get a Corbin Burnson, Charlie Sheen, coming together major league vibes by the end of this thing, it could really change your outlook going into next season. It's not a small deal. Like, I understand it's not the reason they were bad. You don't want to overstate it. It's not the reason they were bad, but I will push back on someone who would say that immense negative energy between your two biggest stars and should-be leaders doesn't have a trickle-down effect. Totally disagree.
It absolutely does. And I think you can say that the genesis of the fact that the Mets underachieved and played poorly this year had something to do with the fact that their two biggest stars, because it confuses a lot of players. Because it's sort of like, which way do I go here? If I show too much favor on this side, this guy might not like it. It creates an awkwardness. It's a real thing. It does exist. It exists in business, in an office. It exists in a clubhouse. It's a real thing. Anybody that says it doesn't matter, they don't have to be friends, they just have to play together. Yes. And baseball's not a sport like hockey or basketball where I'm dependent on our chemistry on the field or on the court or on the ice or whatever it is, right? Because passing and trusting that you're going to be where you're supposed to be, that stuff is more important when you're playing sports like that. Baseball is very individual, but it still creates in a clubhouse, like you said, a weird vibe that can affect the team when you're not like that. You have a struggle early in the season. Nobody knows who's going to stand up and talk to the room where everybody's going to listen and respect the voice. And because that's important. It's important to have unity, and when you're fractured like this, it's a concern. But I just love that everybody was downplaying it. That no, it's not a big deal. We saw it on opening day. They barely acknowledged each other. The fact that Soto said it's better this year is like him saying, yeah, it wasn't good last year. It's not as bad as it was last year.
Which means
that's what it sounds like. It doesn't sound like everything's great. It sounds like it's better this year. That's all he said. Even Cohen said it. It's a story that was really last year's story, and they're getting along much better.
So that means it was so bad last year.
And you could see
that
it
by
in
the
that clubhouse
time you got to opening day, it was like a nightmare situation.
They went through a spring training, and it still wasn't right. If you saw an opening day with the way the way they acknowledged each other as the first two players introduced, and then everybody else came out, and it was as if like everybody was family. Come on. This year started with that as a problem. Peralta saw it and said, I got to do something about this. Somebody's got to say something. Right? He had the cubes to do it. I don't know if he called them out. I don't know if he just, poured a couple of drinks and said on an off night and just said, fellas, let's discuss. It could have been, you don't know where these conversations have, and sometimes they're organic and they just suddenly turn into something. Could have been on a bus, getting off a flight. Could have been on a flight. Could have been anything. But the fact that he had it at least got them an understanding. I don't think everything's healed. This story tells me that at least they both finally stopped pretending. And the acknowledgement of, listen, just let me do what I want to do. I'll let you do what you got to do. And that's it. And we won't have any issues. But at some point, somebody's going to want to call somebody out. And if your two stars aren't supporting each other, That's the problem.
No,
Go back to and just one point quickly is the Bronx Zoo days. They won 2 championships, and all they did they fought with each other. Billy Martin was fighting with players. Like it was not Shangri-La, but it also you could see it did when Reggie Jackson performed the way he performed. Even Thurman Munson had this acknowledged, like, yo, I didn't love what he said in Sport Magazine about being the straw that stirs the drink, but that dude just hit 3 home runs and helped us win a World Series. I got to respect that, right? When he got red hot late in the year, it's like, you got to respect it. So if Soto's playing out of his mind, Lindor's like, yo, leave him alone, right? But because you're losing, you're frustrated, and it's heightened. So that's why.
And then it
until
becomes a
they start
cycle.
winning, I can't believe everything's healed.
Well, and to the point earlier, this week at least, interestingly, last 10 games or so, they are starting to win. So
yeah,
should be yes, in a year in which nothing matters now, if you're a fan, I understand you're checked out. It is something at least to keep your eye on between now and the end of the season.
No question. And even into the offseason, because at some point on the other side of the news collective bargaining agreement, the Mets are either going to stay pat with both their star players who make a ton of money, or one of them's going to go. And we all know the guy who would go is Lindor. Cohen said no, but again, you got to see how this all plays out. But it's a very interesting story that did develop from this. And if it ever does work out, you can look back and say, Freddie Peralta, all right, disaster as a signing, but did he help the Mets at least heal going forward? 800-919-3776. We'll get back into calls and conversation. We'll catch you up on what's happening at NFL training camps with the Giants and the Jets. Some Geno Smith news that is very interesting. Odell Beckham Jr. compares himself to LeBron James in a very interesting way as well. But let me tell you about Rings End. I told you about the project we had here at the house, and Rings End has I got French doors, and they're beautiful. But Rings End will have everything you need to update and upgrade your home. Not just doors, windows, kitchens, paints, all the different colors you can get. Look, we're getting into fall season coming up soon. I know you don't want to hear it, but we are getting closer. It's August. That means fall's rolling around on the other side, and that means, of course, holiday season. You want to freshen up your house for the holiday season. Benjamin Moore paints are exactly what Rings End has as well. 3,500 different colors and everything that you need in all of their listen. They are local. They are not a national chain. You don't have to worry about being overwhelmed. They're not a big box store either. They have regional expertise. They have 8 full-service lumber yards in Connecticut and Westchester County. But they also have 12 freestanding paint centers as well, Benjamin Moore being their premier paint. So you can go there, pick out colors. It's the fastest way to really refresh your home. And you know what you can do? I just learned this. You can order paint online. That's right, you can. If you know the color, like, for instance, there's a billion different whites. Like, you have all kinds of different whites, shades of white. I didn't know this, but it's a very popular color, Chantilly lace. There's one that everybody's using right now. And if you wanted to order that, if you knew exactly the color, just go to ringsend.com, and you can have that order delivered to your house. And just get ready if you have painters coming in or if you want to do it yourself. And suddenly, in 2 days, your house looks like it had a complete makeover just in time for the holiday season. So, if you are interested in that and more, go to ringsend.com. That's ringsend.com. Now let's take a look at the traffic with Brandy Scott.
Thanks, guys. We're going to start off again in Jersey. A little bit of good news on 440 northbound. We still have this crash right before the Garden State Parkway, but one lane back open. Still jammed there and backed up onto southbound 287 into Piscataway, heading over to the Staten Island bound outer bridge. Inbound George, stick with the upper deck if you can. Lower level, a crash on the Jersey side, about 15 to 20 minutes in building. Cross Bronx westbound, they did pick up that accident on top of the Alexander Hamilton Bridge. Still bumper to bumper heading over to the outbound George from White Plains Road on through. Outbound Lincoln, your best bet at 15 to 20 minutes. Outbound Helena run you 30 to 40. This report is sponsored by RockAuto.com. A bent tire rod can quickly bring a drive to a halt. For the parts needed to get back on the road, visit RockAuto.com. Find a wide selection of quality parts at reliably low prices. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
And you can get up to $3 million in cover.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. That's ethos.com/game. Paid testimonial. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
All right, 800-919-3776. Alan and Peter here with you. We have, by the way, an NFL conversation to have about how running backs are now getting paid again, but in a different way. Of course, just after the Giants decide that paying a running back was not really a good idea. Will the Giants end up regretting this down the road? Now, it's already too late. It's past tense, but still, when you see the trend, you'll ask yourself about Saquon Barkley one more time. But in the meantime, grab a couple calls here. On the Mets situation, we'll go first to Ed in Queens. Go ahead, Ed.
You know, Alan, I love you, but it's just not true. It can't be true. Baseball, it's not like basketball where teammates have to feed off each other. They have to pass the ball. They have to trust, like Kobe has to trust his teammates to make shots, so to pass them the open man and things of that nature. Each individual player wants to succeed regardless of who his teammates are. They don't get paid if they don't hit the ball. Whether they love each other or they don't love each other, it's not going to make them hit the ball or pitch any better. It's just not.
Okay, I did say that. It is a lot different in the team sports like hockey and basketball, where there is true like in-game, real-time chemistry that you got to have. Otherwise, you know, it all falls apart. And we saw that with Kobe and Shaq. We've seen that with other teammates. But I am saying, though, Ed, that in a clubhouse, which is the sacred place in baseball, which a vibe does matter around a team. Like, it still can affect the team. I'm not saying it leads directly, and thanks for the call, Ed. You got a lot of background noise there. But I'm not saying it's the direct reason why you lose, but I can say it's part of the reason why you're not winning. Like, I don't think that's crazy to say. Why else would anybody think it's important to get these two on the same page? If it didn't matter, why would Peralta feel like it's important for these guys to talk it out? Let's go to Peter in the car. Peter?
Yeah, hi. Some perceptive comments there, I thought. And on the particular subject of Soto's team leadership, to me, and projecting if I'm on the team, this guy who does not in the least bit take seriously his defensive position, learning how to play left field, I don't think a guy like that is going to win the respect that from his teammates or a true team leader would have. I mean, even this guy doesn't. Is he not the worst left fielder in the majors? I mean, he seems to be getting worse. it's like the crack of the bat wakes him up out there. It's incredible.
No, I don't know if he's the worst, but we've seen some pretty bad left field play for both teams this year. But Peter, a lot of it was breaking up, but I kind of got the gist of what you were saying. So thanks for the call. I don't know if it's defense. I just don't know if he's got the personality to be somebody that is a leader when it comes to like a guy in a clubhouse. He was with Aaron Judge, and Judge has the comfort of being that guy. He genuinely cares about his teammates. There's just certain guys that are just built that way. It doesn't make you wrong, doesn't make you right. I've always just wondered why there was this notion that just because you are the most talented player, that now you have to be a leader. Guys can lead by example. You know what I mean? Like, just lead by – you can do that, lead by example.
I agree with that.
So, like, that's fine. Do your thing. But don't now feel like a way if guys aren't listening to you or if you feel you should be more than you are. I just don't know what happened with the dynamic there, but it had to have been enough if Peralta felt like I got to get these two guys together.
I to the caller before that, though.
Yeah.
I understand why people would say, hey, you're not passing the ball to each other. This isn't a point guard. This isn't Shaq and Kobe. Yeah, this isn't Shaq and Kobe can't get along.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't Brunson and Cat. But like, have you ever? I don't know what everybody's work situation is like because all of us have different jobs. But for any of us who work on something that resembles a team, camaraderie matters. Leadership matters.
Thank you.
Two pivotal people in the middle of who both play dynamic roles at a workplace, not getting along.
You suck, Busick.
When you travel together, great example. When you travel together, when you get to the building hours before a game, when people party together, or at least try to if you're building something, to have the two core guys, literally it seemed like they couldn't even be around the team at the same time. You think that all just goes away because it's not that one's throwing the ball and one's catching the ball.
Then
it's much more complicated.
I was making an face dead.
When it's sports talk radio, though, debate and argument, that's all part of the entertainment. In baseball, you really shouldn't be doing that. But all right, so then here's the easiest way to put it. If we made so much of OMG and the fact that the players like rallied around the song and Iglesias and it created a mood, right? Look at these guys, how much fun they're having playing together. If that inspires you to think that team is going to win, then you can't tell me that the opposite has no effect on winning.
That's right.
You know what I mean? You can't make a big deal about a group that is dancing with their second baseman because he put out a hit and he sings it post game and they all run out and sing it with him. And now all of a sudden it turns into this cool vibe that the players had that year, how they all felt good and the clubhouse felt good. You can't tell me that shows you a team that looks like they can go on a run and then tell me that the opposite has no effect on it.
Beautifully said. You can't have it both ways.
No.
If you're into the vibes, even the Knicks, you love the vibes.
But
we love how Josh Hart. We love how Josh Hart and Jaylen Brunson are like best friends.
Yeah.
They do a podcast together. They hang out. They go. Oh, when Alan Hahn's doing the post-game interview, one comes up and slaps the other one's butt, and they start nah, dude, if you're in on the vibes, you're in on the vibes. It's more than – so the fact that the vibes are bad on a team has an impact.
Yeah, there's no question. By the way, to that other caller, Soto's 25th out of 39 left fields outs above average. That's not good.
Not great.
No.
Well, he ain't the worst.
Yeah.
But it's also 14 from the worst.
But he's certainly closer to worse than the best.
And it's -1. Tyler Soderstrom's -8 in terms of outs above average, and obviously average is 0.
Yeah.
So.
That's not great. But look, I don't think it's because he's not a plus defender he can't be a leader. I just think some people just aren't leaders. And you can't expect him to be that, but he shouldn't expect it either. Sometimes you just got to know who you are. and maybe he doesn't yet. He's still relatively young, and they gave him the keys to the kingdom. And so that's look. We said this when the contract was signed, when the deal was made. Hope you know what you're getting yourself into, right? It's not as easy as you think. It's a different animal going to Queens versus playing in the Bronx. Even though it's the same city, totally different. Let's take Dylan in the car. One more on the Mets here. Go ahead, Dylan.
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking me. Can you hear me?
Yep, we got you.
Oh, sure we can.
Yep, we got you. Awesome. Well, the take I was going to have, you kind of took it out of my mouth. I feel like I know David Stearns is here in 2024, but that team gelled so much better. And we put such a premium on the things that are quantifiable. You know, the analytics has become such a big focus that kind of gone away from the team aspect of having good leaders and good followers. Because I don't think that people really talk about being a good follower as much as being a good leader. And we really don't have that. You know, you see the teams that have won in previous years. You really can't name a World Series winner in the last, 20, 25 years that didn't gel. It has to happen in some way. And I think, honestly, if the Mets start putting a premium on players that work together, and they don't have to be best friends, but there has to be good leaders. There has to be good followers. Eventually, it's got to work out somehow. You know, I know the analytics are important, but it has to be a good team. And I appreciate you guys for taking it.
Yeah, no, Dylan, is a good call. And again, that's what happens in the analytic world of baseball is that, you know, we always say that they don't really consider hot. They don't think about stuff like that. And I've always said, how do you put a metric on clutch? How do you put a metric on feel? How do you put a metric on leadership, character? Matt Carpenter with the Yankees in 2020, like when he was Judge's MVP season. Matt Carpenter, he was good. He had really good moments. It was a good compliment to Judge, but we all know he was at the end. But to me, it was sort of like the support that he provided with Judge. Vet, been there, right? I thought that really is when Judge started to emerge as that leader, as, okay, this guy's going to be the next captain. Like this, you could see it happening, right?
Yeah, no, I think that's fair.
We just talked to Taj Gibson. There's a guy that is a perfect example. These are players that you have to have in your room. I thought they brought in Simeon to be that, to help get that room back under control. They acknowledged it without saying it. Again, actions over words. They acknowledged it with some of the moves they made, that the clubhouse was a problem. They had to fix it. Problem was they couldn't fix it. And the biggest thing they had to fix was the two biggest stars who clearly created an uncomfortable situation in that clubhouse that took a veteran pitcher to bring them together and have a conversation. And now the only word that either guy can use is that it's what? Is it good? Is it great? Is it fixed? Or is it better?
It's better. We'll take better.
Yeah, it's better. And I don't know if that's exactly what you want. And they're going to have to address it if it doesn't get any better. Andrew in Rockville Center. Go ahead, Andrew.
What's up, guys? Been listening to you guys for a few months now. I got to disagree. You know, I work, and there are people at my job I don't get along with, but I still do a job. These guys get paid zillions of dollars.
True.
And I know you got to, talk about certain stories. I know Peralta brought it up, but I really think it's a non-story. I think it just takes on a life of itself when you guys keep talking about it. I mean, there are so many and there are a lot of professional sports we can dive into, and I get you got to do the airtime, but it happens. People don't get along. Who cares? You know what I'm saying? The Mets aren't playing well.
This is not. I hear you, and I don't know exactly what you do for a living, but not every job is we need to work together. We need to line up and move as a unit in order to achieve incredibly difficult and competitive success. Like professional sports are not, it's not, as much as I made the comp, it's not a sports talk radio station. It's not a post office. It is something that requires such intensity and
massive
such closeness.
Egos.
But let me just say one thing.
Yeah.
I get it. But it's still a sport, dude. And even your job is more important. They're playing a sport. I work in healthcare. So I get the differences and the,
What you do, see,
trying to think of the right word.
Andrew, what you do is so important that you have to put ego aside. Because if you don't, people could be affected. Like, they could be really seriously affected. So it's a little bit different than baseball.
But I'm not going to take out my personal feelings on something like if I don't work. All I'm saying to you is that, again, I like you guys. I listen to you. I just don't think it's as big as a story as it is.
Fair.
And, it could be down the line if there's a book about it. But
when you're trying to figure out, thank you for the call, man. I appreciate your insight. But Alan, when you are trying to figure out how a team with that payroll and that talent was this bad, you have to look at all the things.
Everything.
You have to go in the nooks and crannies. If on a certain team, on the golden era Chicago Bulls, not every player had to be best friends. You know why? They had a maniacal tyrant who ran the team and was so good and kept everyone in order. So as long as everyone did their job, this one maniac was going to make sure we got to the finish line. If you don't have that, if your team doesn't have this ultimate leadership at the top, if you lead by committee and that committee is fractured and bad, that's a problem.
Absolutely. It shows. And I think what Andrew's trying to say is, as a fan, he doesn't want to hear about it. I understand. I get it. But right now, it's a story because it involves your two, not just highest paid players, your biggest profile players.
Your best players.
These are your two best high profile players. And the acknowledgement is there was an issue between them. They think they at least aired it out. And the best we could come up with, the result was that it's better. That's what it is. It's better. It's better. Which means last year it must have been really bad. And it does give you just a look into what has gone wrong. It's not just David Stearns made some terrible decisions. It's also perhaps because that season last year, every Met fan, come on now, be honest with yourself. That thing tailspinned. It just circled the drain. You saw how that ended. How can a team that had that much talent to be as good as they were for the first half of the season circle the drain by September and completely fall out? How could they not kind of just get together and say, all right, come on, we can do this. Let's just get into the playoffs. It didn't happen because it was fractured. And they moved a lot of pieces to try to fix it. But the biggest problem was the two biggest pieces in the whole game still could not get along. And now we got to keep an eye on this as it goes forward. That's why you talk about it. More of your calls coming up. Again, we promised it. We will get to it. The Jets and the Giants, interesting stuff coming out of both camps to talk about, and a running back story in the NFL that we need to get to as well. ENN coming up at 6. Full vehicle, by the way, today, so still lots of time left to talk to you. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions. Sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
If you've been injured on a construction site, then you need a lawyer who knows New York's unique labor laws. At the Parisman Firm, they have decades of experience handling construction accident cases and a proven track record of delivering huge results. Their team has already recovered nearly $1 billion for hardworking New Yorkers. From scaffold accidents to slip and falls and equipment failures, they've got your back. Call the Parisman Firm now at 718-WORKERS. That's right, 718-WORKERS, because your case is their cause. Get the justice you deserve today.
Hey, it's Alan Hahn. At Rings End, they're there to help realize your modern design visions. That's why they partner with Marvin. Engineered for big ideas, Marvin modern windows and doors deliver effortless elegance, expansive views, and industry-leading innovation, all in a modular system designed to meet the exacting principles of modern architecture. Experience Marvin Modern at a Rings End showroom today and create something stunning with them. Rings End is a certified Marvin installing retailer.
Fans arrive early at Yankee Stadium on Saturday, August 8th for the 78th Annual Old Timers Day presented by Fresh Direct. See Yankees legends put on the pinstripes again and take the field at Yankee Stadium. Relive memories of your favorite former Yankees and make new memories with your family. After the Old Timers Day ceremony and game conclude, stick around to see your Bronx Bombers take on Atlanta. Get your Saturday, August 8th Old Timers Day tickets presented by Fresh Direct at Yankees.com/tickets today.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
John's day is off to a slow start. So he heads to AutoZone, where he can get a battery for under $100. Lonnie, a local AutoZoner, tests his battery for free. Looks like he just needs a charge, and Lonnie does that for free too. In no time at all, John is back on the road, ready to finish the day strong. Free battery testing and charging at every store. No hassles, just help.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Rich Eisen here with some advice. If high-interest credit card debt is grinding you down, it might be time to call an Audible with a SoFi personal loan. It consolidates your debt into one low monthly payment with no fees required. And with as soon as the same-day funding, you can make the right play fast. Call an Audible on your debt today at SoFi.com/debtplay. Loans originated by SoFi Bank N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891. Fast funds terms apply at SoFi.com/debtplay.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off. And you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
Video game. All right, there it is. I was waiting for the whatever drop was going to happen. As you hear like some of these synthesized intros sometimes, Peter, is there one video game in mind that had a track that like the minute you hear one note, it just makes you think of like Legend of Zelda or whatever it is? Do you have one?
I don't know if I do. I was watching something else when we came back. Was that Game Over, a little flip?
That certainly was.
Yeah,
that's
the most. It's the most video game of all the video.
But there are
songs.
there's some others.
The Mario.
Yeah, all that stuff. There's certain sounds though that if you're from Generation X, it's immediate. You just think of that game because of how much you played it, and that silly little soundtrack just was always in the background while you were playing it.
It's crazy because between Mario and maybe like the early Pokemon games, I could stop playing the game but still hear the soundtrack in my head.
Right? All right, how much, because we all consume video games at one time in our lives at an unhealthy rate, let's be honest.
Still do.
Anthony probably clearly still does.
Yep, I'm right there with him.
Anthony is like aim small, miss small. If there is ever an apocalypse and we all have to arm ourselves, I'm putting Anthony out front. Because something tells me he would already know exactly how to handle any type of attack. But there was a long time when early in my beat writer days, I had a Game Boy. And one of the games I had was Tetris. And it was a matter of just killing time. Because back then, kids, no iPhones. You had a cell phone, but it didn't have anything on it.
No.
And it was always...
It had, what was the one cell phone game? Worms or something?
Snake.
Snake.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Early Nokia had that.
Is that the game Jake, you called it Snake, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Is that the game you like to play?
I still call it Snake.
I bet you do. I had Tetris on Game Boy.
Oh, classic.
Right? And I would sit in like an airport knowing there's going to be a delay, whatever it is. And it's, when you're a writer, you're sick of writing and sometimes sick of reading during a season. You just want to melt your brain. And if it wasn't, a good glass of scotch, it would be Tetris for me. And I played it so much one season that I remember in the middle of the night waking up in a cold sweat because I was dreaming of falling geometric pieces.
Right.
And the fact that at the last second it wasn't going to fit and the panic that I thought there was something wrong with me. I'm literally dreaming Tetris.
Oh, let me ask you a question right now.
Something wrong with me.
This is a great, I've never asked this question.
Oh, boy.
And this is why I am underrated low-key, the Edward R. Murrow of our generation.
Are you?
What's your favorite piece in Tetris?
Wow.
See? Did I blow your mind or did I blow your mind?
Straight line. Got to be.
Yeah, see, the simple man would say the straight line.
And no one's ever called me anything but simple.
The four square simple line because it's very versatile. You could put it. All right.
Yeah.
It's going to be a drop. You can put it anywhere.
You can always get something with it. And when it hits big, nothing hits bigger. You knock out 4.
Yeah. See, because the square, it could mess you up.
Square can be a problem.
Yeah, square can be a problem. So that's the easy one. But what was my favorite?
You're going to go. Let me go. I know what you're going to go. Alan Hahn, guy that he is going to go the 3 down, 1 over.
Yes, sir.
It's
That's right.
almost the long one, but it has the little hook.
No, I called it the middle finger. 3 with the dot in the middle and again, if you turned it any which way, you could, if you use that the right way, you could knock out 3 lines in a snap. Easy. And I felt that was also versatile because in the worst of times, you could just have it lay flat on the 3 boxes.
Yep.
And it could fit in.
In a pinch, if you have 2, if you only have room for 2 in the corner, you flip it on its back and just drop it down and let the 2 hit.
Yes, sir.
Honestly, it's a great take.
L piece is the best piece to me.
L piece.
Yeah.
Huh?
That is the L piece.
Also. Well, no. What I'm talking about is the 3 with the one in the middle.
The 3 one that you can rotate.
I called it the middle finger. Yeah.
Oh, that's the middle finger.
Yeah.
I'm
the L
with
piece,
you, Jacob. Jacob, I think
works.
I think low key the L might be the one.
Yes, that's the best one to me.
Yeah. Well, the L could also work if you do it the right way, because you could knock out 4 lines in one shot. If you have it set up just right and you're waiting on the L. It's like you get so psychotic like I did is you start watching the pattern and you know what's coming. And you start setting up your lines because you know what's coming. I had a problem. I had an addiction. It was bad. Started dreaming it. Have you ever dreamed in video games?
No, I've dreamed. I've got. I
don't mean these real life ones now. Like it's so lifelike now. I can't imagine you don't dream in this stuff, right? But that's like a psychedelic thing. It's just geometric pieces falling from the sky.
I have had periods, and it's been a long time.
Bet you have.
Where I've played a game so much that you go to bed dreaming about it. It's been a long time, but
Pac-Man and that pattern. That's the problem with the old video games is that once you figured out the pattern, like again Tyson Punch-Out. Once you figured out the pattern, it was almost like this isn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
Well, you know it is fun every time we do it. ENN. And that is next. Don Hahn Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
Monkey Sports, built by players for players, is your one-stop shop for hockey, baseball, lacrosse, and more. Find top-name equipment and expert in-store services like sharpening, break-ins, and relacing. Shop in-store at Monkey Sports in Farmingdale or Woodbridge or online for all the top brands. Whatever your sports, Monkey Sports gets you game ready fast. Monkey Sports, where athletes shop.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This August, don't miss the Big 5 spin-off and your chance to win your share of $55,550. Be here on Friday, August 7th and 28th from 3 to 7 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to select 4 balls from the lottery drum to win up to $5,555 cash. Don't miss the Big 5 spin-off where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Whoever said fork in the road must have been hungry for the Sorrento and Sorrento Turbo Hybrid. Their 3-row seating,
and 10-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranty. With a capable Sorento and Sorento Turbo Hybrid, every way forward is the right way. Visit your local Kia dealer today. Kia, movement that inspires.
Call 800-333-4KIA for details. Drive safely. See retailer for warranty details.
Miller time. People think it just happens, but that's not true. You know what you gotta do? You gotta go say hello with some beers. Make the plans. Forget the couch. Go to that thing. Play the game. See them in person. Talk to that stranger. Live a little. Small acts of rebellion that bring us together. Because legendary moments start with a light. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. 2026 Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
And now it's time for traffic. Here's Brandy Scott.
Thanks a million, guys. I hope you have a great rest of the night. I'll catch up with you on Monday. Anthony, enjoy the rest of your birthday. We've got a crash on the BQE eastbound in Brooklyn over by Metropolitan Avenue. Involves a Jeep that hit the divider. FDNY is on the scene. Only one lane is squeezing by. You're crawling there and backed up onto the inbound Gowanus. Not moving much at the Tappan Zee Bridge, trying to make your way onto the Rockland side. All because of a crash on the thruway northbound by 9W in Nyack. Hitting the brakes there. Heavy delays. Go back onto westbound 287 into White Plains. Inbound George, they picked up that accident on the lower deck. Still going to run you about 20 minutes using 8095. Upper level, just about a 5 to 10 minute wait. Heading over to the outbound George, best of it right now, Henry Hudson. Second choice, West Side Highway northbound. Your stop and go from the 90s. Outbound Lincoln will run you about 20 minutes. Outbound Hone, 30 to 40. I'm Brandy Scott on 880 ESPN New York.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea just got harder with Twisted Tea Extreme. The hard iced tea taste you know and love, but with an 8% kick of alcohol. Twisted Tea Extreme is made with real brewed tea, goes down smooth, and brings your daytime drinking to the next level. Just look for the bright yellow cans in the cooler and get ready to dial up the fun. Big flavor, extreme kick. Twisted Tea Extreme. Keep it twisted!
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
ESPN New York is your home for the world champion New York Knicks. WHSQ and WCBS FM HD2, New York. This is an ENN special report. Now reporting.
The very handsome Jewish man, Peter Rosenberg.
We should talk some sports. Do what you want. It's ENN.
Hi, how's everyone doing? Good. Welcome to ENN.
Ray Rowe.
You ever watch YouTube?
It's brought to you by Boost Mobile. And this is unfortunate, but I'd like to say good evening to Alan.
If you're winning games late, it's costing you draft position and lottery and all that stuff. You don't hear that nearly as much in baseball, do you? We lost Peter already. We were 8 minutes into the show, and he gone.
It wasn't even 8, dude. It was less than that. And I don't know what happened. I do what we do know now. It was a crash on our system.
Yeah, we had a system crash. And
because I was sitting there and I'm like,
we recovered.
I'm like, I did my internet speed test. I'm like, I'm still here. What the hell's going on?
So did you just you didn't hear me?
I did it first, and then you were gone.
And then I was gone. Yeah, then I was gone. Yeah, everything went down. Right.
Good evening to Alan.
You get to a point. It's well here. All right, so that's now just after we lost you.
No.
And now I'm like scrambling because I'm going, okay, I don't have somebody responding to me, so I need to like get instead of doing
and then it started sounding like you were working like a telecom center.
And then right, like I'm at the call center.
I thought you got up to get the phone. That's how far away you sounded. I was like, did he grab the phone? What is going on?
It was such sabotage.
Do we have what happened to Allen? Somebody has to hear it so that everyone knows we're not crazy.
And enjoy it, and if they win, that's great. And you don't reach a point where you're... Wow. I just got swallowed up into the abyss.
That's what happened?
I was like, did he go grab the... I literally asked Jacob, did he just go grab the phone? We have no one.
Yeah, no. Hang on. It's a very important call.
At that point, I was concerned for Anthony's mental health. I thought he was going to lose it.
He was like, wait, so Peter disappeared. Now, Anthony, did you figure my disappearing
I knew why. I knew you were gone, and I knew the reason you were gone.
You knew why I was gone. Okay,
I knew why and how you were gone. I knew all that. And then I knew we just had Allen, and then I thought Allen went to go grab the phone.
And then Allen faded into the other side. It was like Stranger Things. He went to the other side.
I was in the upside down.
I was in the upside down. I don't know about everybody else.
Oh, man, it's been a day. We recovered well, though. Very, very busy day.
It has been a hell of a bounce-back day. I will say that.
I'm saying.
All right, let me say good evening.
I'm going to rip that thing off, though. I'll tell you right now. I'm ripping the freaking thing. Why do I have a house phone anymore?
I love it. Good evening to myself. Rubbing the good guy so I get the oil on my arm.
Hey, man.
Listen, that's a choice. I support anything that you're about.
Good evening to Griffin.
Wow.
Good evening to Griffin.
Yeah. He is smooth.
Yep. We lost Peter already.
A lot happened today, man. Hell of a program.
Let the boy watch.
Yeah, that's right. I'm so excited for my niece and nephew who have never been to a wrestling show tonight. They don't even know what they're getting tonight.
No, and you're going to blow their minds, aren't you?
But I should be more excited for my brother though, who has become he's back in a hardcore way.
Nice.
And today he's going to be front row, and it's like this is not a jabroni live event. I think the main event is Punk, Cody, and Gunther in a triple threat.
Wow.
Seriously?
Wait, hold on. How did he get back into
Gunther?
it?
Yeah, your cousin Gunther. What'd you say there, Jacob?
How did he get back into it? Over 30 years, and what brought him back?
So I know all these years of me talking to him about it did nothing particularly.
Right.
But then I took him to Cena's last match because it was in D.C.
Well, that'll do it.
And he just was hanging out, and then a few days later, he told me, he was like, "Oh, I was watching X old thing," and then another week passed, and he's like, "Oh, I'm reading this book." My brother goes pretty hard into stuff when he goes into stuff, and he really started just reading books, and then he got really fascinated with the whole history, the way the territories used to be, and then Vince McMahon swallowing up the whole business, the whole thing. He found it to be a really interesting American sort of business story,
Great. He's back.
And then it is the greatest entertainment in the world. So here we are. So tonight we will go to the former Patriot Center. It used to be called the Patriot Center because it is on campus at George Mason.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
The George Mason Patriots, to you and me.
Of course. Yeah.
It's now, of course, called, because we live in America and it's 2026, can't be called the Patriot Center, of course. It has to be called Eagle Bank Arena.
Of course,
that
it
is where we're
going. At least Eagle is there.
Well, that is still patriotic.
It's still patriotic.
It's like a patriot. It's an eagle. I have to tell you guys, I started diving in for the first time yesterday to Quarterback on Netflix, the new season.
Okay.
Enjoyable start. Obviously I'm into it because Jaden Daniels is in it. That's fun. Although, Jaden so far, he's been pretty boring. It hasn't gotten to the injuries yet because this followed him last year.
She been in it yet?
Oh, the mom is in it.
Of course she's in it.
Mom's in it.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, it should be noted, do most people know that his mom is an officially licensed agent? People know that? She's not literally just his annoying mom hovering, but and was a legit business person prior.
Lamar Jackson has that too, right?
Lamar's mom is his agent as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess she just doesn't hover as much.
No.
Because Jaden's mom's there.
Yeah, she's there all the time.
Yeah.
I just think
she's short of walking out on the field if he gets hit.
Well, she was there. You guys remember when they were at the
She
at
comes
the
out,
NCAA
right, starts
tournament?
scolding the guy.
And he was trying to hang out with Juju,
Oh,
and his
yeah.
mom was sitting between them.
Yeah. That's unfortunate.
I'm gonna tell Mom to go a couple rows ahead. Let me handle my business.
Let me sit with Juju. We're going to
create
chill out.
some parameters, Mom. Okay.
But I got to tell you, you'd enjoy the Joey Flacco of it.
Okay. I like Flacco.
Don't you like Flacco?
I don't know.
You're like Jaden Daniels' mom to Joey Flacco.
I don't know if I'm that much.
You
Flacco
were trying
guy.
to woo him to New York last year.
Well, because they didn't have a functioning quarterback.
So you'll like that story though,
right,
the
cool.
Flacco story.
I like his story though. It's a great
and then
story.
I'm into Baker Mayfield. I'm a Baker Mayfield guy.
Yeah.
And I got to tell
he's
you,
that guy you don't want to like, but then you find yourself liking him.
Well, and they go back. When they in the first episode, they kind of set you up on each quarterback's story.
Yeah.
And when they set you up on Baker's story, and you go back to that season where it was Cleveland, Carolina, L.A., Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
It was 4 teams in 9 months.
Right.
It's a pretty crazy. And then he signs a deal there for $8 million, to be on the team.
Yep.
And then they sign him the next year to a $33 million contract. It's a pretty cool.
And now he's in a place where he's feeling disrespected.
And now he's back to the disrespect.
Right?
Did they show his room in the pirate ship?
They did not show where he slept in the pirate ship.
That's disappointing.
Cam Ward seems like a sweet kid as well, by the way.
I believe it. They talk about his character, leadership, all that stuff. That he was. They're very high on the intangibles that he brings.
Oh, I'm glad you brought that up here.
Why is that?
I mean, glad I brought that up by accident because I have some audio. What's this audio about Baker Mayfield I have here, Anthony?
That's right. Jason Licht, who is the Buccaneers GM.
The GM in Tampa talking about Baker?
Yep. They asked him.
Jason Licht, here we go.
Yeah, we do think he is, and we love Baker. Our feelings for Baker haven't changed. Baker, as we all know here, is a very fiery competitor that's not afraid to speak his mind. I know he's disappointed, frustrated. We were too, but like I said, he is, we're in a good place. He's out to have the best year. He's focused on having the best year of his career.
Okay.
He's going to take advantage of it.
Nothing.
Yeah, I know he's pissed off. We're going to benefit from it because he's going to be all fired up, and we want him to play his best.
All hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Right? Like that's the attitude is probably the right way to do it. This is what we think he's worth. He's mad. That's good for us. Play mad. Play out of your mind. Give us a great season. We'll worry about it later.
Okay. Speaking of TV, by the way, I've been wanting to tell you this all day. I don't know if you care how you feel. Did you see the new A24 trailer for a movie that's coming out?
No.
Depends.
The Chris Hansen movie?
Oh, yeah.
No. I saw a million trailers last night before Spider-Man.
Prime time is yeah.
Yeah, I'm not surprised this didn't make it before.
This wasn't in that algorithm.
But the Chris Hansen movie about how to catch a predator looks pretty crazy.
All right. I'm calling up the
trailer. I can't
trailer.
believe how old we are, guys, that was that long ago. That was like 20 years ago, the prime of Catch a Predator. Like 17, 18 years ago. You saw the trailer already, Jacob?
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to drop. I'll be tuned in.
Come on in.
Now, is in the trailer, because we've been on the air, so I haven't been able to watch it. In the trailer, is there controversy to the movie beyond like the whole idea of it being crazy? Is there like another layer?
Not that I've seen, no.
I just didn't know if there's another story beyond the story, besides the fact that the whole thing even existed and happened and how wild the whole show was.
Yeah.
All right, moving right along here, kids. Yeah. We know how strongly. No, before we get to AG, let me go to JB. We finally have some Jaylen Brown sound. Jaylen Brown. Here's Jaylen's reaction to getting traded.
I'm not even sure. When it first got traded, I just threw my phone across the room. But who was first? It might have been Max. I think Max, he reached out to me first. He reached out and was like, I know it's a lot of stuff going on right now, but, we excited to have you and stuff like that. Maxie and VJ was probably around the same time.
The two kids, they're all fired up.
What about
and
the
Beav
Celtics?
was hesitant because Jaylen Brown has had some words about him.
Yeah, of course. Jaylen, what about the Celtics trade process bothered you?
The whole process, but to be honest, my mind is so focused on what's in front of me. To be honest, I'm moving on. Maybe one day you share the details of kind of how everything transpired and all the moving parts that took place in this. Obviously, it's a lot of speculation. I feel no need to chime in on it because I'm focused on what's in front of me.
All right. I mean, it's definitely
the right answer.
Yeah, it's the right answer, but we all know you have not moved on.
Well, hold
and
on.
I love it. I can't wait for all the petty. It's going to be This is going to be such a fun season in the East.
Oh, there's a lot there.
Oh my God. Yeah, it's going to be
lastly, Jaylen, what's your current relationship with Jason Tatum like?
We won a championship together. So anybody that you win a championship, you would think like that's what, a brotherhood or a lifelong legacy would entail. Obviously, there's ups and downs in any type of relationship for sure. But on my end, it's nothing but respect. Besides when he plays the Sixers, I hope he does well. But other than that, everything for me is just based in respect.
Have you guys been able to talk?
Not really.
Dope. Wow. What do you make of that? The not really. Like
what is
Tatum,
that? What is not
Tatum
really?
Never,
Does
means
that
I'm good.
No, or I'm good.
Is that in a all set? He gave it a all set. Like, did Tatum try to call him, and he left? Like, did he text him and leave him on red, or did he call him and not answer it?
I'm pretty sure Tatum called him.
Or did JT send a text that was like, "Yo, bro, you always knew it was going to be me or you. The only difference is I always knew it was always me."
Hello?
Good luck.
Who's this?
Like that.
Who am I
Hi, who am I speaking to, please?
That story though, when it comes out, man. That's
You idiot.
Okay.
Might be a lost cause, my G.
So many things could have been said between the two,
Hi, guys.
That's another way. Maybe that's it. It was a friendly call, Sorry, bro.
Sorry, bro.
I don't kill you.
Do you think there was a big Richard click? Maybe he called and all he got was the long Richard click, but he never heard it. It was just fumbling with the phone.
Right.
And then that was it. No one was there. So you don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk to John Harbaugh for a second. Speaking of Richard.
Mm-hmm.
The other day there was a supposed taunting that Dart committed during practice,
Yeah,
which you don't love.
supposed.
Taunting your teammates not the best move.
Yeah, but it happened, and they penalized him for it.
They penalized him and gave him a 15-yard penalty. And here's Harbaugh being asked, did Dart take accountability for the penalty?
Yeah, we have our team meeting, and all those plays come up. The different things come up, so that's an opportunity for coaching points. So, we went over the sequence, and, everybody knows. So it was good. He was great about it. He's great about accepting responsibility, and he's a very accountable guy. I feel like all the guys are. I really like that about this team. To me, they're very intentional about their work, and they're very accountable about their process, if you want to say it that way. I really like that. I feel like it's a bunch of guys that makes the most of the day because of that.
It's almost like they were begging to be held accountable last year, and it never happened.
Yeah. Sometimes people like discipline.
It was such a story that was overlooked.
Now here's Field Yates. He went on with DiPietro and Rothenberg talking about his expectations for Harbaugh in year one.
I think it's an 8 or 9 win football team this right away. And John Harbaugh, there's an unmistakable floor that he brings to the table. There's stability. There's sort of knowing how to win that a first-time head coach is not a guarantee to bring to the table. We've seen guys come in and win soon as first-time head coaches, but John Harbaugh has been there, done that. There's nothing that can be thrown at the Giants that John Harbaugh hasn't experienced some way, shape, or form during 17 years of being an NFL head coach. I think there's a very, very, very unique pressure of playing for a New York team that I think a lesser experienced coach or somebody cut from a different cloth probably wouldn't be able to handle as well as John Harbaugh will.
I mean, that's exactly why they hired him.
You
expectations.
You believe in 8 or 9?
8
and 9?
I can't put a number. It's hard to put a number. Look, their defensive front is going to be nasty. I worry about their secondary. Simple as that. Their offensive line is healthy right now. It doesn't have great depth, but it's healthy right now. If it can stay healthy, their offense has a chance to be reasonably good. But I don't know if there's enough playmaking talent. Neighbors is obviously a very important piece. Scadaboo's health, very important. And, of course, what Dart can be now in year 2. But defensively up front, they could be killers. Secondary remains to be seen. They had a tough schedule, too.
Let's hear from Geno Smith. What's training camp been like so far, Geno?
I think we had a couple excellent days of training camp on both sides of the ball. A lot of great competition out there. I think coach is doing a great job in putting us in so many different situations and forcing us to react. And I love the competitive spirit of this team. I love the progress we've made so far, but we still got a long ways to go.
Now, speaking of long ways to go, Jets rookie tight end Kenyon Sadiq having an injury situation. Here's AG, as Don would call him, with an update on Sadiq.
You know what? Actually got pretty good news the other day, and I'm just crossing my fingers. And still, I'm going to say it's a couple of weeks still. But it's not anything that's going to keep him out of the regular season.
Okay, so he's got a sports hernia. He had a procedure done to repair. A little bit of a setback that's costing him time in training camp, which, as you know, for a rookie is
kind of important.
Relatively important.
Yeah.
Especially for a guy that they really feel like they expect him. He's supposed to be. That's why the sports hernia thing made me go, oh, man, because he's an athletic freak. And so that's what you worry about. Like, damn, already? So hopefully he can get right. Hopefully he can catch up pretty quickly because he could be a very important piece here. They were very excited about getting him. But AG's saying he's going to be there for week 1. Let's see if he's there for week 1.
Let's see. The Colts and Jonathan Taylor have agreed to terms. 2 years, $44 million. Wow.
Running back's getting paid, Peter.
Yeah, what did Saquon get from Philly? Like 16, 17?
Yeah, but that's like, think about this, right? So
Taylor, a couple years ago now.
Yeah, 2 years, 44. Bijan Robinson got 3 years at 75. And then Jahmyr Gibbs got 3 years, 75.75.
No, they're running backs getting the money they deserve again. It's been an undervalued position now for a few years.
It is definitely
latest
something.
on Vita Vea in Tampa. The Bucs have no plans to trade the Pro Bowl nose tackle,
even though he's mad because he wants to get paid.
Who do we have a cut from talking about this?
The Bucs GM.
This is Jason Licht again. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
I have no plans on trading Vita.
Do you expect him to play this season?
That's what the hope is, and that's what that's what we're trying to resolve right now.
Is someone mowing the grass in the background?
Yeah,
did the guy just come by with the? Really?
You gotta love training camp.
Really?
Then.
Did the guy just come by with the mower just the right time?
Oh,
just like whoever's calling the house right now.
See, you try to make a joke. You don't.
Here's the truth. I hit ringer off. This thing now is it's. Are you mocking me?
See, Alan tries to make fun of Jason Licht's lawnmower, and karma hits him with a phone call right in the middle.
You get to a point. It's unreal.
Wow.
I literally have ringer off. I'm telling you right now, I'm unplugging this freaking thing.
What was that again, Griffin?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I feel you, dog. Hey, Mets fans. How about the debut from young Jeffrey Yan yesterday?
Yay!
Couple of strikeouts for the reliever, known for, among other things, his celebratory split.
Yeah, split.
After every strikeout.
Like a split, like all the way down.
Like a full flying jump off the mound that lands basically in a split.
Right in the clay.
It's unique, man.
It's a lot.
It's unique.
How is it like they treat pitchers with such kid gloves, right? They're wrapped in bubble wrap, these pitchers. And he's doing calisthenics. This guy's like, seriously, he's like a Division I SEC level cheerleader, the stuff he's doing.
Oh, yeah. They made a baseball card for him, I saw. There's already a digital baseball card.
Of course they did. It's like 10 feet in the air.
He's so high up on the jump.
I know.
I mean, dude, Kodai Senga heard himself just like taking one little light jump off the mound. So something to watch there is for young Jeffrey Yan.
I mean, it's probably entertaining, and for the Mets, of course, they're looking for things to get their fans excited. But if there's anybody who does something like, he so represents the Mets, doesn't he? Just that extra.
Just a little.
When's Mr. Met's going to
much.
start doing splits up on the dugout after he gets a strikeout? Mr. Met will do it too, and we'll cut to
listen.
Mr. Met, and it's just this is so Mets.
The Mets are going to drive me to weed.
I will say this.
Let the kid have fun.
Don is going to lose it.
Oh,
if
he's going to
this
love
is
it.
a thing.
Oh yeah, he loves it. You know he loves it.
Yeah, I might start calling him Jeffrey Don.
That's very close.
That'll do it for ENN, brought to you by Boost Mobile tonight. Don't overpay. Get unlimited talk, text, and data for $25 a month, forever, for life, for real. Switch now at boostmobile.com.
I mean, that is an ENN chock full of information, including
that's right.
That the last part we went through all of the running backs that are getting paid. There's a trend we're seeing, a trend that maybe the Giants could have started only a couple of years ago if they were ahead of the curve, but they were not. We'll discuss that and more coming up. Your calls at 800-919-3776. Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN New York.
This is Carlin on ESPN New York.
What the Yankees have become is an average baseball team that just spends a lot of money in some average ways. They are no longer willing to take chances. When you don't take chances to try to go win, you can't win. Just do whatever the big man wants and make sure that money keeps coming in. It's all crap. Those pinstripes don't mean a damn thing anymore.
Chris Carlin, weekdays at 10 a.m. on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
When care matters most, experience matters more. The Allure Group is redefining rehabilitation and long-term care across New York with 6 convenient locations. Their expert clinicians create personalized care plans to help you recover, rebuild, and get back to what matters most. From short-term rehab to long-term care, Allure is committed to comfort, dignity, and results. To learn more, visit allurecare.com. The Allure Group, where care meets compassion.
D'Agostino Law Bite Back. This is John D'Agostino from D'Agostino & Associates, and I know how a serious accident can change your life just like that.
I'm Jenna D'Agostino, and I understand that with pain comes medical bills and time out of work. Let us get you justice.
This is John Ryan, the closer. For over 35 years, our family has been getting accident victims every dollar they deserve.
I started this firm for the injured so they can bite back against the insurance companies.
Our legacy is to get you justice. Bite back.
To get you paid, bite back.
At D'Agostino & Associates, bite back means fight back. When you're hurt and they blame you, we bite back and get you every dollar you deserve. We have offices throughout New York and New Jersey, so call us first at 1-800-BITE-BACK. That's 1-800-248-3222. 1-800-248-3222. I've been there, and I'll be there for you.
Hey! My dad is bringing home the best birthday cake ever!
It was my 5th birthday, and my dad was bringing home the cake.
Should have been here a half hour ago.
The cake never made it, and neither did my dad.
911, what's your emergency?
That was the day a drunk driver killed my dad.
Daddy?
Impaired drivers take lives. Think.
Sponsored by the New York State Governor's Traffic Safety Committee. Aired in cooperation with the New York State Broadcasters Association.
Mornings with DiPietro and Rothenberg.
Buster only joins us. Who is a team in the American League right now that should scare Yankees fans a little bit?
All of them. There's so much parity in the American League, it's kind of crazy. So if you told me that the Yankees reached the World Series, I wouldn't be shocked. And if you told me they got knocked out in the first round, that wouldn't shock me either. I don't think they have any idea what they're going to get out of Judge and Stan the rest of the year. Like none.
DiPietro and Rothenberg, morning 6 to 10 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube.
At City Harvest, we believe no New Yorker has to go hungry. With your help, we're on the road 365 days a year, rescuing over 77 million pounds of nutritious food and delivering it free to millions of New Yorkers, transforming surplus food into sustenance, sustainability, and smiles, rallying thousands of New Yorkers to power a network of nourishment across our city. One day, one meal, and one New Yorker at a time. That's how we feed good. Donate at cityharvest.org.
Hi, this is Don LaGreca. Just like the New Jersey Devils bring intensity on the ice, Viking Pest Control brings the same level of protection to your home. And I know because I use Viking at my own place. The season may be over, but pests are always in play. So it's time to lock in your off-season defense. As the pest control provider and proud partner of the Devils, Viking delivers 45 years of trusted experience to keep ants, cockroaches, stinging insects, rodents, mosquitoes, and more out of your zone. And when you bundle pest control mosquito services, you score big savings. One call, one company, total peace of mind. Visit VikingPest.com. Protecting your home inside and out.
Harry Douglas here to tell you about Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. It's a fruity candy flavor explosion, and I mean explosion. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots, a zero sugar treat that's sweet tooth approved. These can take care of my candy cravings and provides a tasty caffeine kick without all the sugar. Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Get candy flavored chaos with Fruity Rainbow 5-Hour Energy Shots. Available online at 5hourenergy.com or Amazon.
When's the last time payroll was the easy part of your week? With Gusto, it can be. Gusto is the all-in-one platform designed to take the hassle out of managing your team, from payroll and compliance to hiring, onboarding, and more. With Gusto, you can get back 2 full days each month with all the time you've saved. Go to gusto.com today and learn why over 500,000 small businesses choose Gusto. That's GUSTO.com. Gusto.com.
All right, your calls at 800-919-3776. Found this interesting from Connor Hughes. I put it in the group chat for you guys. Have you ever seen this before? Geno Smith is wearing red contact lenses. It's to help with the glare. He's experimenting with it right now. Apparently, Santonio Holmes was the first one who told Geno about it, and I guess he went to an eye specialist, and they brought it up too.
I know there are colored contact lenses.
Yeah, there are, but
I didn't know that
red's
you could use red ones for glare.
Red's got to make you look a little crazy, doesn't it?
Well, and Santonio's the perfect person error-wise. He's Geno's like class right there.
But still, imagine looking like into the eyes of a quarterback, and you're like, dude, that guy's got red eyes. Freak you out.
It is. I've never seen it before.
But it's not the craziest thing I've heard an NFL player use to try to, for either to take advantage or also to deal with something. Did you ever hear Bart Scott tell the story about what a lot of players would use for cold weather games?
Oh, yeah.
This is familiar.
Jacob remembers.
Me too.
Anthony remembers.
This is familiar. Oh. Is it a medication?
Yeah, it's considered such.
Does it help with blood flow?
It definitely helps with blood flow, which is what keeps you warm, among other things. And he proudly talked about how a lot of players would pop a little blue pill for a game, and it would just help keep you warm. And I would say to him, because I don't know these things, so I was very innocent when I asked this question. I said, but Bart, aren't you a little concerned? There's, you pop that thing. I mean, and you got to be careful
around all these hot dudes.
Just get up there and start hacking. But no,
excuse me.
Honestly, I'm really naive, right? This is like 4 or 5 years ago when he told me this story, and I was like, doesn't that though create a problem? And he's like, no. He's like, it's not what happens. Because I thought if it's more than 4 hours, you got to call your doctor. I didn't know. I thought it was like this automatic thing. Like you take this pill and within a couple of minutes, you got Empire State Building. Well, I didn't know that wasn't the case.
Oh, is that not the case?
No, I was very naive on that one. So he told me, no, that's not. He goes, if somebody did, we'd have to have a conversation.
So it's controllable, is what you're saying.
I guess so. I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't know either. I would have the same.
Yeah, that seriously was my assumption, and then he cleared that up. And apparently, it is a thing in the NFL for a lot of those cold weather games. So, and it does work.
So red contacts, blue pills is what you're saying.
There you go.
Can't lose
on either one of them.
Oh, that was the line. Wasn't that always the line from Friday Night Lights?
Yeah, I think that's exactly how it went.
Red contacts, blue pills, can't lose. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Well, Jonathan Taylor gets 2 years, $44 million from the Colts. Bijan Robinson gets 3 years, $75 million from the Falcons, and Jahmyr Gibbs gets 3 years, $75.75 million from the Lions. The trend here, of course, is that running backs that are high-level, top-of-the-line running backs are getting $20+ million a year, but they're not getting a lot of years. So the term is down, but the annual is way up. And this is not that far removed from when the Giants looked at Saquon Barkley, who is, right, a high-end elite running back, and felt it just wasn't worth it to them to give him a contract. And they let him go to the rival, and he won a Super Bowl. And it's like the Giants were clearly not ahead of the game on this, because this is making sense. You're not going to give a running back a 5-year deal. We know that. But if you give him more money up front on a shorter term, it makes more sense, because we do know, as much as, yes, the running back position is making a comeback. Barkley is part of that era. And we still also agree, though, that it is a short-term type, other than if you're Derrick Henry, okay? But it is very much a short-term position that you cannot invest long-term in a running back. But it doesn't mean you can't pay them. So were the Giants, like, is this one of those? Look, letting Barkley go is still regrettable. It'll always be regrettable. But is it looking even worse now when you're seeing what the market has now turned out?
Well, it's really interesting because it's now changed. We said this would happen, by the way, Alan. I don't know about you, but I've been saying, the running backs coming back. This was almost, I'm not going to say it was like, market manipulation or collusion.
Right.
But it did seem like there was this, hey, the running back's just not a valuable position. And then you're like watching and you're like, I don't know, man. I'm watching the game. It seems like the best guys are game changing. I mean, Derrick Henry can make your team a team. Now, Derrick Henry's one of a kind, fine. But Saquon Barkley, a huge piece for the Eagles. So it was a matter of time before it came back around. But, man, the timing is good now. Bijan Robinson, Jonathan Taylor. Like, is Taylor what's the max contract Derrick Henry's ever gotten?
I'd have to look that up. I don't know off the top of my head.
But it's not what Jonathan Taylor just got, is it? Has he gotten to 22?
I don't think he's gotten there, no. These are all the highest for running backs, but they all keep going up. But the McCaffrey, the first McCaffrey deal was what? Was that a 5-year deal?
Yeah, but for what, 16?
Because that's the one that kind of set the tone for Barkley. And then McCaffrey got hurt, and that was the thing that just made you feel like you can't do it. And then the Panthers had to move on from him. And since then, he's gotten a 2-year extension from the Niners. And that just seems to be the thing that makes sense. I guess the biggest thing here is you could take away more criticism of Joe Schoen in that moment to say, like, when you were going a multi-year deal and you were keeping him at like $13 million or whatever it was that you were keeping him at, and that wasn't going to be good enough for Saquon Barkley, how did you not think to yourself more up front? I know it eats at the salary cap and it can hurt you short term. But still, that's the direction this was going in, and it really did start with a guy like McCaffrey, not just because he was a good runner, was because they were multifaceted now. These guys, what they can do with not just running the ball, but catching it and then getting yards after, which has become a big part of the NFL offense now. And so it's a regret. It's in the past. It's over. There's nothing you could do about it now. But looking at these contracts, that's like the first thing you thought of, right? It's amazing that these running backs are very valuable to their teams, They're getting paid a ton of money, and they're figuring out how to take that money up front, knowing, like for instance, Gibbs, out of the 75, 51 is fully guaranteed. So there's still a little bit of an out for the team, right?
Right.
2 years, tons of money. That just seems to be the way to go, and that's the direction it's going in. Now, is Cam Scatterbo going to make you forget Saquon Barkley? Is he going to be just so good with what he can do because he's a dynamic, battering ram kind of running back?
Derrick Henry's high, by the way.
Where's Derrick Henry at?
His high season in 2020 was 15-5. Last year, he made 14.
That's crazy. What is he, 32?
His rookie year was 2016. He's 32. Good call.
32.
And still humming.
No, I'm telling you, he's one of those guys. Derrick Henry's close to Emmitt Smith, is he not? Like, he's got, if he can get a couple more years in. I had a note on this in case we were going to talk about it. Stand by. Because I loved, Derrick Henry. So he's going into year 11, Peter. Not even thinking about retiring. 32 years old. He's 6,236 yards from passing Emmitt Smith as the all-time rushing leader. Now, it sounds like a lot. 6,000. That's several years, right? Since 2000, only 4 running backs have had 1,000-yard seasons after turning 32. Now, Emmitt Smith is the obvious one, right? He's done it, clearly, because he's the all-time leader. Can you name the other 3?
Ooh.
Since 2000, only 4 running backs have had a 1,000-yard season after turning 32. I'm giving you Emmitt Smith because he's the all-time leader. You know he's one of them.
Since 2000.
Since 2000. So it's obviously this century. 3 of them have done it after the age of 32. So it's guys who have obviously, they've had long careers. They've been durable.
Adrian Peterson.
That's one. Very good.
Edgerrin James.
No.
I have 2 names in my head.
All right, Anthony's got a give me a name, Anthony.
Peter, do you have another one? Off the rip right now, or no?
No, not off the not off the rip.
I'm gonna guess LT.
No, but a good guess though.
Is one of the names
1,000 yard? One of the names is not like a superstar, but a guy that he carried the mail for years. He stayed in the league a long. I think he was a Jet short term. He might have been, but not like not remarkable. I could be wrong if he was. I just know that Bart loved him.
Who is it?
Frank Gore.
Frank Gore. Oh yeah, well,
was Frank Gore for like 5 seconds.
He may. Yes, I think he was. And I think
the
he was
last
a Jet
name may or may not surprise you, but it's definitely a recognizable name. A little bit of a notorious career because he came in hot and then kind of I don't want to give it away by using like a metaphor. Came into the league like he was a name, and then like fizzled out a little bit, but then ended up having like a good finish to his career. Huh. But little bit of like controversial notorious.
All right, give it to me. I don't know. I gotta go.
Ricky Williams.
Ricky Williams had one over 32.
Yeah, over 30. Yeah.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
So Adrian Peterson was an easy one because he such a long time that he went, but Ricky Williams and Frank Gore the other 2. So what does it tell you?
Frank Gore, by the way, was easy too. That was stupid work by me. That's gettable.
Oh yeah, okay.
Well, because when you think, I just was amazed at his level of.
I didn't know if you'd remember.
Frank Gore's compiling. He was setting records late in his career. I mean, he did it for so long.
Yeah.
That's very compelling.
Yeah. So that's the list, and it just shows you again for Derrick Henry, it's something to watch going forward with him. He's 32. He's in year 11. He's going to be a big part of that offense, as we know. And he's again 6,200 yards. So you're still talking. That's a lot. Like he'd have to still be dominant into like into year 16.
Yeah, to get there.
Tough for him to make it. All right, we'll finish up with your calls at 800. Last call, crew, 800-919-3776. The Mets get a win this afternoon. Yankees off tonight with an offense that is anemic. They will play. You talk about the Red Sox being red hot. The Braves have also won 7 in a row. They're coming in tomorrow night. We'll talk about them and more. Stay with us, Don Hahn, Rosenberg, ESPN, New York.
This is the Michael K. Show.
I think that when you watch a team every single day, I think we get more of a harsh perspective because teams that are having quote-unquote good years, the injury-decimated Yankees play those teams, and they seem to handle them quite well. Maybe things are not as bad as we all think they are because we're watching them every single day.
The Michael K. Show, weekdays at 1 on ESPN New York and streaming live on YouTube. Presented by the Parisman Firm.
Long Island is more exciting than ever at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel. This August, don't miss the Big 5 spin-off and your chance to win your share of $55,550. Be here on Friday, August 7th and 28th from 3 to 7 p.m. when one lucky winner will be drawn every hour to select 4 balls from the lottery drum to win up to $5,555 cash. Don't miss the Big 5 spin-off where Long Island wins at Jake's 58 Casino Hotel.
If gambling is a problem for you or someone you care about, please call the 24-hour toll-free helpline at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
There you were, surrounded by fans. Everybody remembers the game. Nobody remembers the guy coughing behind you. Till a few days later, at 2 a.m., you wake up with a fever and your throat's on fire. Now what? Urgent care? Closed. ER? Slammed. Telehealth? Maybe, but the pharmacy's closed. You needed a medical emergency kit. These aren't first aid kits. They contain essential prescriptions used for over 30 common conditions: sinus and ear infection, UTIs, stomach bugs, traveler's diarrhea, and more on hand before you need them. Use your doctor-developed guidebook to select the right prescription or call their telemedicine doctor standing by. It's like an urgent care and drugstore at home. When you're sick, traveling, or stranded, you'll wish you'd ordered a medical emergency kit. Order online in minutes and it's shipped to your door. And save $45 with my promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880. That's promo code 880 at urgentcarekit.com/880.
You're in charge of ordering boxes. Small boxes, big boxes, really big boxes. You're in charge of tape, labels, mailers, bubble wrap, extra bubble wrap, just for fun. You're in charge of warehouse cleaning and safety supplies. Good thing there's Uline. Thousands of quality products for your business and warehouse needs, always in stock, ready to ship same day, and backed by Uline's legendary 24/7 customer service. Uline makes it easy because you already do enough. Uline, we warehouse for you.
Tricon Construction is growing across New Jersey, delivering larger, more complex commercial projects with the precision today's developers expect. Because when the timelines, capital, and reputation are all on the line, you need more than a contractor. You need a true construction partner. Tricon brings experienced leadership, disciplined project management, and a team built around accountability and execution. From planning to completion, they build with purpose, professionalism, and pride. For serious commercial projects, build with Tricon. Visit triconbuilds.com. That's triconbuilds.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Your ambition just met its match with Robinhood. You play for the win, not just on game day, every day. Channel that drive into your money. Robinhood puts you in control, all on one platform. You expect more from yourself. Expect more from your money. Get started today at Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Again, that's Robinhood.com/yourmoney. Your money, your move.
Congratulations, New York. The Knicks did it. Through battle after battle, they dominated to become this year's NBA champions. Day in and day out, the hard work paid off, and you were there every step of the way. Enjoy the crown. Own it, because this year is your year. A part of your legacy that will never be forgotten. So celebrate this moment, show your pride, and shop the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. a Fanatics experience.
All right, we'll get into a lot of football tomorrow. Again, tonight, the Hall of Fame game is tonight. So we get our first Thursday night football, and it won't be the last for quite a long time as football begins. Yes, it's preseason. We know the Hall of Fame game is not real football, but it's certainly a football game, and it is the Cardinals and the Panthers. So, yeah, exactly. What does Peter always say? Like, smells like a Tuesday during COVID. But it is a game, and it is it's 8 o'clock on NBC tonight. If you just want to watch football, you'll get that, and that's on tonight. So, again, we'll get a lot more stuff tomorrow. Hall of Fame class this year, and that's Saturday will be the induction ceremonies and all the speeches and everything. Headlined by Drew Brees. You also get Larry Fitzgerald, Adam Vinatieri, Luke Kuechly, and Roger Craig are the headliners in this year's class. So also something to look forward to this weekend is, now all the preseason games start to begin, and we start getting excited about the upcoming season. And when you're talking about the Giants, you're talking about Malik Neighbors and getting him ready for week one, if he could be available for week one. And what a big story that would be for the Giants. When you think about just before training camp began, there was a lot of speculation that he might not be ready for camp, might not be ready for the first couple of weeks of the season. But at least he's been on the field doing drills. He's not going to be involved in anything that involves contact or defense or anything. He's got to, you got to be careful with what he's gone through with the clean-out injury, with the clean-outs procedure on the knee. But he's very important to this offense, which is going to be, it's going to be run heavy, but you can't be run heavy if you don't have any type of threat. He is a threat. Now, who's going to be the second wide receiver? That room right now has got a lot of vets and a lot of guys fighting for a spot. But one guy, I've been following Jordan Renan and some others who cover the Giants. And one guy that's, he's been percolating a little bit the last couple of days. It's a cool story, is Odell Beckham Jr. So Jordan tells us he's had 2 now straight strong days of practice. Now, again, I know it's August and it's just training camp practice, but you got to understand when you're 33 years old and you haven't been in the league in 2 years, it is a big deal that you come onto the field and you can start to pop. That's important. Like Aaron Donald was in retirement. He went out on the field with the Rams, and Sean McVay's like, it's the greatest tryout we've ever had. And Aaron Donald might play this year. And if you put him and Myles Garrett together, that's a scary defense. So you are seeing older players who might have had some time off, but don't want to let it go yet. And so it's a different world we're in now because of all the different, between sports medicine, the recovery, ways that you could prolong careers. We're seeing players play older. Tom Brady's done it. Look at LeBron James. Just talked to Taj Gibson today, 40 years old. He played his 17th season this past year. 41 he is right now. He didn't tell us he was done. We asked him straight up. If you missed that interview, he was fantastic. And Taj also talked about how proud he was of watching the Knicks win. He did have 2 stints with the Knicks. He was here recently. His teammates with Jaylen Brunson. He saw it in him. But he also was teammates with Karl-Anthony Towns. And the conversation that he shared, he told us when he last saw him and the way Cat was carrying himself, he said he told him he's ready to win a title. So that was a great interview. We'll have it up. We have it up on social media now. If you missed it, it is. If you're a Knicks fan, you want to hear it. But on the Odell Beckham Jr. topic, so he's trying to make this team. And he knows it's a great story because it's the team where he started. It's the full circle moment for him. He was young. He was obviously he was the golden boy. Everybody loved him. He had the one-handed catch. He became a superstar overnight, dating a Kardashian, the whole thing. You know how that was going. Then things started getting squirrely, going left a little bit with some of the histrionics and the goofiness, whether it's him getting into fights on the field or whether it's him, making what did he do? Propose to the kicking net, right? I mean, he grew up though. Won a Super Bowl, but injuries really sidetracked his career. But now he's trying to make a comeback. And at 33, he's comparing himself in a way, according to Jordan Renan, as a football version of LeBron James. Here's the quote that Jordan has. He said, I'm just trying to be present each day and every day, prove myself who I am and who I know I am. Everybody likes to talk about, is he going to be this or that? And he said, I'm like LeBron James used to take off before the free throw line. And now if he's taking off with his right foot in front of it, he's still got a different game, but he's still playing at a high level. I believe I can play at a high level. What's he saying there? He's saying, don't expect me to be the highlight film receiver that I was early in my career. Body won't let me do it. But as LeBron James showed you, your brain can still prolong your career. You're smarter now. So while the athleticism isn't what it used to be, you know the game. You know how to get open. You know the nuances. You can actually now be a better player because you are just smarter. And you don't have to do the spectacular athletic things. But every now and then, like LeBron does, you can remind people, I still got it. And I think that's what Odell's like kind of enjoying here. Now, again, it's just drills. It's just preseason. Not even preseason. It's training camp. But when you think about the wide receiver room, and Neighbors leads the way, and Darnell Mooney's there, and Darius Slayton's there, Malachi Fields, people are talking about the third-round pick. People are kind of excited about what he can bring. And then you've got a bunch of veterans who are trying to make the team as well, that Odell's in that group with Juju Smith-Schuster, who's been a little banged up, and Braxton Berrios, who Berrios is a great athlete. And Berrios also is multifaceted because while he can give you some depth wide receiver role, we also know he can play special teams. That's been his thing his whole career. But is Odell kind of like that fun story, the one you're sort of rooting for? Does that make sense? It does to me. Because you remember Odell, the last you remember Odell in a Giants uniform, it was not a great memory. And Odell is going to be remembered as being part of what ended what we knew the Giants to be. I mean, Tom Coughlin had no choice. He had to give in and let things happen. Tom Coughlin lost his job, not because of Odell, but as a result of Odell. That's fair to say. And ever since TC walked out of that room, when he walked right by John Mara, didn't shake his hand after his farewell press conference, that told you all you needed to know about what was going to happen with the Giants. And what happened, as we saw, they went into the doldrums for years. They were not the same team because one player started to become it became more about the player than it was about the team. And the standard was no longer there. It was a different era. It was sort of, the Giants had to get out of their old school ways. And then you realize that, you know what, sometimes the standard's very important. But Odell's learned a lot since then. He has to have. And he's been through some injuries, and he's been away from the game. But this kind of could be a really interesting story. And having him as a way mentor Neighbors, that could be a good thing in that room. Now, who knows better than John Harbaugh? Because the last time Odell really did anything was in 2023 with Baltimore. It's the last time he played a full year in the NFL. Put up decent numbers. And Harbaugh was the coach, and Harbaugh liked him and thought he was a good impact in the room. And that's the reason why he's here. He's not here for any other reason. He's here because John Harbaugh said, because he probably reached out to him. They talked about it. And John said, sure, I'll bring you in. I'll give you a chance to make the team. And so it is certainly something, one of the big stories to watch with this team. The biggest story, of course, is the quarterback. We know that. And the health of the defense and all the little things. But the Odell story's got my attention. And I'm watching it. So we'll see what happens with that. If you're watching football tonight, enjoy it. And we'll see you all tomorrow.
There are a million reasons to love New York. Making your budget stretch isn't one of them.